futile.
Fine, I'll just be over here, sharpening my feathers.
Straight up, it's a Yorick and with the Zayaban I get, but Yorick, what? So Yorick ban kind of is a bit weird for me. I guess it's targeted towards Crow, but not a ban that you see. Obviously, we see the classic Katrina ban against Catbot. The champion's name is in his own summoner name, and rightly so. Katrina Bot's Katrina is something to be feared.
Indeed, well said over there. They would not want Katrina Bot to get those comfort picks. You know, they want to get these champions out so that he cannot carry his team over there. We know Temple of Kings, this name is not uncommon to us. One of the best teams in South Asia. They played in the Asian Games, so they would want them to have as many disadvantages as they can.
And this game is going to be interesting because after the Asian Games, we did have a sort of shake-up in the Temple of Kings lineup, where Dead Corporal, who is now going by the name Think Like a Lion, is playing ADC. So, if I do say so, ADC DC is back. And to cover up the top lane, it looks like it's going to be Crow in the top lane. But yeah, interesting. We do see the Darius pick by blue side. Darius super strong in the early game, and the response seems to be from Temple of Kings picking up the Lucian and hovering the Pike. I wonder if they will go for the Pike over there.
I mean, Pike is a problematic champ for any combination, you know, those hooks, and he does manage to go invis over there. And that ultimate with the execution is a problem for any team.
Yeah, and with the early game damage output of Lucian, any hooks could be pretty deadly, but that does give 404 skill not found the opportunity to counter pick in the bot lane, and it looks like they're going to go with the Alistar. Really strong right now, super strong disengage, will be able to nullify a lot of threat of the Pike Lucian, especially considering the fact that Lucian is super short range and might be a bit difficult for him to lay down damage safely without getting Alistar on board.
That the Alistar is expertly picked from 404's side over there. You know, whenever the Lucian does want to go for those aggressive engages, or if the Pike does manage to land a hook and try to stun the opposing ADC or high value target, they're going to want to CC the hell out of Lucian over there, or even Pike. Any squishy is going to have a lot of problem to deal with when it's Alistar in the equation.
Yeah, and Alistar and Pike is pretty slippery, and that's how he kind of tries to stay alive, just by being slippery, because he doesn't really benefit all that much from defensive stats. But it seems that it's going to be 404's turn to pick a champion here, and so far no hovers, nothing being picked just yet. They are surely taking their own sweet time to decide what to pick in this first phase of the draft.
Right, and we have to consider that the Alistar pick is something to be really feared about, you know, because they have been thoughtful about what Temple of Kings want to do, and they want a dominating performance at bot side. And with a Lucian in the equation, they put in Alistar just to mess with him.
Yeah, and we do see the Misfortune lock in. So Misfortune also pretty strong in the early game. Very strong team fight. And with the Strut passive, it can also be fairly difficult to land hooks onto the Misfortune because she's always running around so fast.
Indeed. But we have to consider that ultimate which Misfortune has, right? And with substantial CC coming over from the Alistar side, it's going to be a bloodbath if anyone does come into the crosshairs.
Definitely, Alistar combo into Misfortune, slow Misfortune could be something that could spell a lot of trouble for Temple of Kings, but it's now their chance to pick the third pick on their side, last pick in the first phase before they head over to the second phase of bans.
Indeed, second phase of bans. And what do you think about the first phase? Have they been really targeting Katarina bot over there? And it's pretty apparent, right?
Yeah, the Katrina, the Yone and the Katrina ban obviously targeted towards Catbot over there, and Of course, highest ranked player over here in South Asia, something to be feared, but he has quite a few champions in his pocket, and all of them to be feared, honestly, in the hands of someone like Catbot. I don't even
Right.
know if there's any point in going for like targeted bans against him like this, unless you're like really going ham on his entire champion pool.
Right, but just any advantage 404 can find over here would be substantial. We know that Temple of Kings have been very incredibly dominant in the group stages, haven't they? They have absolutely bulldozed any who would face them.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
the Temple of Kings definitely came out first seed in their groups, whereas for Skill Not Found second seed in their group. So it's an uphill battle that they have to fight, and it looks like we have a Silas hover. So Silas could be flexed to the top lane, could be played in the mid lane, could also be jungle. So pretty interesting if they log the Silas in here, because that means that 404 doesn't really know where the Silas is going, because the only other picks are definitely bot lane picks. Unless that's a mid Lucian.
could be, but yeah, Silas is a comfort pick for Katarina bot over here, and we know that early on he is strong enough considering the abilities which he has. The balancing team has made sure that his early on is not too weak. All right, so if he does manage to go through the earlier side of the matches, I believe mid game he's gonna be a beast.
And looks like we have an acceleration in the pick phase where we have a bunch of lock-ins coming in instantly. So it looks like it's going to be LeBlanc in the mid lane for 404 and Wukong in the jungle. And on the other side, we have Malphite in the top lane and Karthus in the jungle. So pretty strong carry jungler being picked up by Temple of Kings alongside like a really strong early game bot lane, a really strong early game mid lane. This seems like an amazing game for Karthus.
Absolutely. And I have to say, seeing that Malphite over there, the combination which Temple of Kings have, it seems strong, it seems violent, and they would really want to excel in their champions, considering they have such a strong team fight in this scenario. We can see 404 did opt for that Darius over there. Darius is going to be able to some extent, bully the Malphite if Malphite comes into, cleave range. However, if Malphite does manage to get that ultimate, there's a lot of gank potential at top side for Temple of Kings.
Yeah, a lot of team fighting power for Temple of Kings. Alice could steal Misfortune ult, or Alistar ult become super beefy or lay down a ton of damage. Wukong ult also pretty decent to grab nice CC, nice DPS, and lots of options there. And my my concern here is the Karthus, because we have a jungler in the form of Wukong for 404 who doesn't really wanna do all that much pre-level 6. It's really post-level 6 that Wukong comes online, and I am kind of worried that with the comp they have over here, it might be difficult for them to kind of stop slash slow down the Karthus in the early game. So the Karthus might get a pretty much a free ticket up to level 6 in this matchup.
Right, and I know this much that 404 cannot allow that. Kartus with the Leandries and Dark Harvest, he's going to be doing tons of damage. And the 404 bot lane, which dons the Misfortune and Alistair over there, they have to some extent some safety. Considering that Temple of Kings will not be able to easily engage upon the backline over there. However, with the Kartus backing them up from like cross map, that World Ultimate over there, it's going to be a lot of problem if 404 are not careful at bot side. If they do fall behind, it's going to spill a lot of trouble.
Yeah, so my eyes are going to be on the solo laners this game. The Darius and the LeBlanc for 404 skill not found. I think those champions really need to be able to do some damage in the first few levels in the game, so that they can hopefully translate that into leads and then use that to affect the Karthus jungle. Because the Karthus jungle isn't really looking to do a lot of ganks in the early game. He's just better off trying to counter gank, and the Wukong as well only wants to farm up to level 6, which kind of works in the favor of Karthus, because once the Karthus scales up, it's not really much you can do. He presses R and you lose the team fight.
Indeed, that's well analyzed over there. And when I look at the LeBlanc on 404 side, I wonder, they are going up against Catbot over there. All right, they're going up against really a highly skilled mid laner, and for LeBlanc to really pop off in this scenario, she has to really capitalize on the bullying potential she has with that reach. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, she did. The LeBlanc pick here really needs to take advantage of the fact that she's going up into a melee matchup, get priority early in the game, and hopefully use that to translate it to something else. Because the Silas is also looking for early leads over here, right? And so the mid lane matchup can be fairly volatile. But the real thing to watch out is going to be on the top side. I think it's really important for the Darius to be able to get a lead over the Malphite in the early game because otherwise the Malphite is just going to give so much more value in the later stages of the games.
Indeed, and honestly, 404's combination does seem very solid. It's generic, however, it's very solid. You know, if they manage to ensure that the early to mid game is in check and Temple of Kings are not that ahead, they are managing to make sure the Silas remains imprisoned and everything goes their way. It may be in 404's favor, at least drafting phase.
Yeah, true that, and it looks like we are in the game and there's already a flash burned. So Wukong has to burn his flash super early in the game. Oh wait, no,
Right.
that's not Wukong. Not sure
Yeah,
who burned flash there.
and a lack of flash this early on in the game will spell trouble for the team, especially the jungling potential. It seems like TOK are very aggressively inside the bot side. Misfortune had no idea. Pike does manage to land that hook though.
And that's going to be first blood. He does choose to hold on to his summoners here. Doesn't want to really use them in this early skirmish, but pretty odd positioning by the misfortune, really unsafe, and gets punished by TOK, who is just casually waiting in the brush over there.
Yeah, I mean, against a team like Temple of Kings, you have to be very vigilant, especially in those bushes, you know. And they were so. Hold that thought. It seems like Silas Katarina is going very aggressive onto LeBlanc over there, and it's to no surprise. He will want to at least show some dominance early on. We know that LeBlanc is stronger early on than Silas to some extent.
It doesn't seem to be the case. This Katrina bot seems to be finding those chains again and again to land the stun into combo, which is not really ideal for LeBlanc over here, who wants to be harassing him with a range advantage. That doesn't seem to be what's happening.
IFLX has to be very careful, you know, when dealing with a predicament such as Silas. And it seems like Temple of Kings are commandeering bot lane, especially after that aggressive play, that very sneaky play in the bushes.
Yeah, Lucian did return to lane with an extra long sword over his Doran's blade itself. So there's a small stat advantage over there, which is super nice for the Lucian pike lane looking to do a lot of burst damage off landing hooks. And top lane, it looks like Darius is going to shove the Malphite in, which is pretty much as expected. Karthus and Wukong just seem to be clearing for the war zone. Never mind, Wukong is looking for a gank in the mid lane.
Right, and mid lane, it seems like Silas is being chased. The ignite goes off, and seems like Temple of Kings mid laner Katarina bot has to run for his life. Will he be able to get out of there? He does manage to absolutely burst down that LeBlanc, and my goodness, what fast thinking over there.
Yeah, pretty huge error by Kulfi over there. Casually walking up to the Silas. Yes, you have three members of your team, and the Silas is flashless. That does not mean he does not do damage, friends.
He did a ton of damage over there, and with that electric heat, you know, usually they, as far as I know, they go for that conqueror. However, hold that thought. Wukong is at bot side. Temple of Kings ADC down below 50% HP. However, Lucian is dealing so much damage. Shingeki will take out both of them. The Lucian and Pipe just go down right away.
So we talked about how the Wukong really wants his level 6. This Wukong does not want his level 6. He wants blood.
Right. You said well over there, and you know, usually they do wait for that level 6 advantage because the Wukong ultimate is such a terrible thing to deal with for any squishy. So much CC. However, it seems like he's not waiting for anything on the top side. However, Malphite kind of getting hammered, kind of trying to deal damage onto Darius and managing to do so.
Yeah, Darius tried to take a fight in a pretty big creep wave. That does mean that he is going to be up a couple of CS once he clears this wave, I think. But does find himself being poked quite a bit by the Torrens rank. Q spamming Malphite is always interesting to see. And mid lane seems to be more of the same as the Silas continues his streak of dominance up quite a bit in the CS department.
And I have seen Pro absolutely rocket with the Malphite over there, so you can tell that he's in his comfort zone. And you can see that thick shield he's getting from Malphite. Seems like Bot will try for those chain grab over there. However, nothing will land. He's gonna try to hijack good ultimates over here. However, I believe the tankiness which Alistar offers will be great. It seemed like the chains land, and Bot will take out Kofi just like that. My goodness.
It's like some sneaky stuff going on in the bot lane over here.
Right,
Like
and
is sitting in the brush trying to get a hook off, and looks like Alistar is going to be walking into the brush. It does get hooked, but honestly, not much you can do there. Alistar not really one to be bursted down so easily.
right, and it seems like Temple of Kings. They're trying to find their footing. It seems like Katarina Broder is excelling at every scenario. However, it seems like Alistar does go in. Lucian down below 50% HP, and it seems like Misfortune will manage to get a kill for 404.
My, the bot lane is not going very well for Temple of Kings. This is not what we wanted to see. Granted, the Alistar Misfortune is pretty strong in the early game, but it's not really expected for them to be able to get too many kills versus the Pike Lucian lane, especially pre-6. But another fight breaks down in the mid lane as Wukong tries to use his ult to do some damage here in the mid lane. It seems like Karthus is going to be able to clean this up as the jungler and mid lane for 404 and TOK respectively go down and follow up ult to try and kill the LeBlanc, but it seems that she's going to barely survive that, and Wukong ends up giving away his shutdown to the Karthus. That is not good.
That is not good at all. It seems like he's got Lost Chapter in. He's going to be trying to stack up that Dark Seal. On the top side, however, Crow really dominating. As you can see, Darius not being able to find that reach, that appropriate reach to really pull him close. And Malphite with those shards just gain so much movement speed that he's able to get away from danger just like that.
That being said, Crow is out of mana and looks like Darius is going to be looking for a recall. Mercury trades are complete, so the poke has lost a lot of its efficacy up there in the top lane, and now as the Malphite shifts into building tankier out items, the poke is going to matter less and less, and especially against Darius. So for a while it doesn't matter, but there's a skirmish going on in the mid lane as Katarina bot managed to land his entire kit onto the left flank, chunking over 70% PHP. Oh my god, it's mid gap.
It is seemingly a mid gap over here, and you can expect that Silas is going to be trying to push it. Whether the 404 jungler has anything to say regarding this dominance on Katarina bot's side, we're just gonna have to see.
I think it's just better off for Shogeki to kind of cut his losses over here. He's already tried to turn that mid lane matchup twice this game, and it has not really worked out all that well for him. And I think he's better off just trying to play for counter ganks and dives in the mid lane. And his bot lane is doing super amazing, so it's better probably to pay attention there. But it looks like he's going to try and punish this dive by Katarina bot onto the LeBlanc, but it seems like nothing is going to come out of it. And he'll probably just end up clearing some waves, getting some minions, and he heads over to the bot lane.
Right, but you gotta hand it to Katarina bot. He's absolutely excelling with the Silas over there. The Illusion out does come in, however, does not consider that Wukong is coming out from his invisibility, comes from the jungle, this monkey, and takes out Lucian just like that. That was stunning.
That was a big mistake by the Lucian. He overestimated his ability to get away from the three man. He knew that a bunch of members were going to show up at the bot lane. The Wukong had left the mid lane and headed towards bot lane. They were aware of this, and he tries to use the Lucian ult to try and clear the wave, but the spacing wasn't exactly amazing, and he gets clipped by the Alistar combo, and that just spelled death for him.
Indeed, and you can see that 404 are really trying to get into the mood right now. 4 kills onto the side of the Wukong.
Yep, the game is definitely kind of snowballing out of control, at least in the mid lane. But on the other hand, we do have the Misfortune Alistar doing really, really well, and the Dead Corporal on that Lucian really seems to be struggling. He does seem to be finding some turret plates for himself, but in the mid lane, this matchup is just looking so one-sided.
Right, it does seem one-sided. We will have to see whether 404's teammates have anything to back up this LeBlanc. The LeBlanc must realize right now that Katarina bot is incredibly far ahead, and any skirmishes may end up in the Temple of Kings favor. And you can see Katarina bot just moving in bravely, courageously, does not fear whether there's a gank around or not. The teammates are around. So yeah, Temple of Kings are really commandeering mid-side right now.
Yeah, it's the mid issue is going to grow as the game continues on. It's
right, you are
really not ideal. There's a huge CS gap over there. This matchup has completely been turned on its head, and that means that soon Katarina bot is going to start moving out from this mid lane and start looking to spread his lead to other lanes, and that's pretty dangerous in the hands of someone like Katarina bot, giving him a lead like that.
Indeed, well said. And we can see that Kartus, even with 1 kill on his side, he has that Leandri's done, and he's going to be stacking up that Dark Seal. You can sense a lot of damage coming. Hold that thought. Pyke seems to be a bit too ambitious over there. Misfortune ult comes in. Misfortune won't take him out, but Shingeki will. And my goodness, that jungler, the Wukong, is not caring about any other lane but bot side.
Yeah, he has definitely identified that this bot side is a bit prone to running it down. And run it down they have yet again, as Kranko goes for a really, really aggressive hook. Probably not the best time to look for a hook over there. It's not realized that the Wukong is on the bot side, gets immediately punished and popped.
We have to ask ourselves this question at this point, even though Lucian does have hold that thought. Yeah, Bone Cell 2 will take out Misfortune. You know that Leandri is dealing so much damage, and Misfortune will just go down. She does not have a full item as of yet, whereas Lucian does don that Kraken Slayer. Nevertheless, they cannot be affording to make mistakes in this scenario, especially when they're ahead.
Yeah, the mistakes like these are not ideal. The bot lane matchup overall has been going pretty well, but the issue here is even with all of the pressure put on top of the bot side, and like Dead Corporal is 1-3 at this point, Kranko finding himself 2 kills down. They're still up like 35 CS, which is kind of negating a lot of the lead, because Misfortune got only 1 kill. She mostly just got assists, so a lot of that gold has been funneled onto the Wukong.
And it seems like Darius was trying for something at top side. Pyke just managing to survive, going the deep water dive over there. Silas does not care about anything. Will go in 4v1 over there. Does he have enough strength within him to survive? But no, he will get taken out. Whereas Kartus does manage to seize that dragon, that Chemtech Drake over there. However, that Silas death may be costly for Temple of Kings.
It definitely could be super, super costly. Like, Katarina bot is fed, but you're not that fed, buddy. Probably not 3 versus 1 fed. Kranko really not able to do anything in that fight over there, and that kind of unavoidable death, but there's not really much to take on the map. Already got the dragon, so not much of a punish coming out of it.
And you could see that Lucian goes in so deep inside the turret of 404 over there. However, will manage to get a kill, will get taken down as well. But it seems like Temple of King are just going guns blazing at this point, trying to get as much as they can in this scenario. Really well played by the LeBlanc, though the chains did not land the first one, but the second one did. So yeah.
I don't know. I think that LeBlanc kind of ran it down like that. She was kind of clear she was out and decided to go back to her previous position instead of giving the Lucian a kill. I don't know what that was all about, but alright.
Right, and it seems like a lot of skirmishes going on top side, and Karthus, as you can see at this point, is incredibly strong, trying to bully the opposing jungler out of his jungle and trying to gain something in return.
Yeah, the Karthus is 2-0 right now. He's super strong. Like he's up like 65 CS or something. This is kind of this game is pretty much on the Karthus shoulders. Like I don't think 404 is going to be able to get a win out of this. But as I speak about that, it looks like Dead Purple finds himself on the wrong side of the rift again as 4 members run him down.
Right, there's just nothing to be done over here. The Darius goes down as well. Bone Cell 2 has nothing to wait for over there. He sees a kill, just goes for it. Karthus at this point with level advantages, farm advantages, is tankier, is stronger, will be dealing so much damage. And it seems like Darius had only one fate under that turret.
Yeah, definitely. Shogeki has fallen down super far behind on the farm this game. He's just so incredibly behind. He still has like 12 stacks on his jungle item. He's level 8. Cards is level 12. He's just so behind right now. They're trying to make a play in the bot lane, but Bonesel was able to immediately counteract that with a play in the mid lane, and the LeBlanc, as usual, was getting shat on in the mid lane. Like LeBlanc is not having fun this game. This game is going horrible for the mid laner.
Indeed, and as you said, a lot does fall upon Karthus' shoulders over here, but I believe at this point, Temple of Kings will only keep getting stronger.
Yeah, this on the shoulders of the Karthus, it's going to be super difficult to take any fights because like that R whenever it's available, that's a global threat, and the Karthus is so fed right now.
Do that, and it seems like okay, Crow is trying to ensure that the dominance he has keeps on going. That ultimate does come in. Oh, it is so tanky. Darius does have to pop off that ghost. However, 3 members of Temple of Kings right there to support Crow, and you can see their communications giving them that astounding advantage. Darius is not having a great time.
Yeah, that again, topside they go for a punish, and I see it looks like the response is once again trying to go and kill Dead Corporal in the bot lane and go down. He will as Misfortune flashes forward for the kill, but it looks like Katarina bot might be looking to punish him. Gets the Alistar ult off, and there are 2 big boys that are trying to beat the shit out of each other. Nobody really taking any damage over there. Silence. Alistar ult is pretty obnoxious. Wukong ultimate will connect onto the Stylus, and that should result in him being taken down under the CC. Kranko finds himself on the other side of 404, and without any spells, that Pike is not really that slippery. Gets taken down for a double kill, and that's 3-4-1.
Pretty cool. And you can see that the match is really heating up. Wukong Shogeki is really making sure everything is going his way. He's excelling as a jungler in the scenario. Both junglers are doing such a good job in really carrying the team. However, Temple of Kings really seem to be falling behind considering the momentum which 404 show, especially in bursts.
Yeah, Shogeki has done a lot of damage in terms of finding those ganks, but the issue right here is that the Karthus is just so far ahead. Irrespective of everything, the Karthus has been able to find key kills while just constantly farming it out, and that Karthus is just so fed. And like I don't think they get finding kills here and there, but it's going to be difficult to match the Karthus. Look at that, already 2 items completed. Leandri's Rabadons, and he's heading towards his third, stacking with nothing, and looks like it's going to be a team fight brewing in the river as Katarina bot is able to steal. Oh, that was Malphite, my bad. Malphite manages to connect an ult into the majority of the blue side team, and Karthus ult follow up takes down another two members. And this is what I was talking about. These team fights are so difficult when the Karthus is so far ahead. You just drop to like 40% HP, you're already dead.
And you can see that 4-4 gets a slap just like that. A Temple of Kings are not done yet, it seems. LeBlanc's clone will be pulled. However, Pike does go for it in case this is one of those kills. But yeah, you
Yeah,
can see
25 gold,
really,
brother.
yeah, 25 gold, anything they can
25
find in a
goals.
win situation, right? But you gotta consider that Temple of Kings, their experience, it's being in show over here. It's being in exhibition. So yeah, it seems like a fight is brewing. However, Crow will manage to take out Shogechi just like that. The monkey thought he had a chance. However, those spinning sticks won't save him from this situation. There's
The
just too much
monkey is
damage.
after all is down 3 levels on the grok, and that is
Indeed.
definitely less than ideal. But yeah, 404 in a pretty rough spot right now. We kind of expected this. Temple of Kings being the best team that India has to offer. The Asian Games roster pretty much it. But honestly speaking, I expected more of a dominant showing with them. Like a lot of mistakes down in the bot side of the lane, and quite a few kills just being carelessly given over for no reason. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, 4-4 is trying to hold on. You can see that their efforts are indeed admirable. However, you can see Temple of Kings experience in show over here. As you said, one of the best teams India has to offer. Even though their bot lane was a bit messy, I guess that's an understatement. However, they did manage to really come back as a team, and they are a force to be reckoned with. Karthus does manage to get that Baron. Will Darius be able to survive? He is dribbling that basketball. However, he will get taken down just like that. And Bones Cell 2 is just phenomenal right now. So much damage coming in from his side. And yeah.
yeah. Just at this point, it's just a matter of cleaning or closing out the game for them. They get the Baron. There's an attempt at a contest, but it doesn't really work out. Black Infinity is just so ahead on this Karthus. Like team fighting is not even an option. Uh, if the window to kind of capitalize on the Karthus' weak early game has already passed, and the Karthus just flew out of the early game, not only even just completely ahead. So this game just became a lot more difficult from that point. Yes, there was a bit of a. They did end up giving up a bit in the bot lane, but I think the big issue was even though Lucian was killed multiple times in the bot lane, not much, but all that thought as there is a bit of a scuffle going on in the mid lane as the 404 roster tries to collapse the Karthus, but doesn't really manage to take him down. He escapes with a sliver HP. The Requiem comes out and he finds himself with another kill. And it looks like DC is going to find a kill on the Alistar, and there's a chase going down in the bot lane. And it's Baron buff minions that are going to be running down the mid lane. And it looks like the Lucian is going to have his eyes on his inhibitor, and the inhibitor he will get here.
And the inhibitor does fall indeed, and you can see Temple of Kings with that Baron buff are just moving towards this besieged part of mid lane. They are seemingly going for that Nexus turret, and it's down below 10%. It will indeed fall. However, the Misfortune Owl does come in, so much damage being tried, and nevertheless, seems like LeBlanc will manage to take out the ADC from Temple of King's side. Crow does go out as well, and my goodness, 404 have managed to defend so admirably their base.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like even though in terms of macro and game objectives, TUK is just so far ahead, but it's just funny how Dead Corporate managed to somehow die yet again.
Right, and you have to consider that 404 realized that Temple of Kings were going for that potential end over there. However, they chose to make sure that their Nexus does not fall. They did not allow that second Nexus Terrace to fall. However, it seems like Karthus is at the wrong side, or are their opponents at the wrong side. Franco will take out Bang Bang just like that. Darius shuts down that Karthus. However, to what extent do they survive over here? 4 are down on 404's side.
They do manage to pick up the dragon, but it looks like Pyke is going to be chasing down the LeBlanc, but it's Lucian who's going to catch up, find the girl. And meanwhile, somebody in the mid lane is trying to end the game.
And it seems like Temple of Kings had this idea from the beginning, and as soon as they managed to take out the majority of 404's side, they went right for that end. And my goodness, they finished it in such fabulous fashion.
Definitely. Honestly speaking, I feel like considering the caliber of Team Temple of Kings is, I expect performance, showing us why they are the best team in South Asia. And a bit, Dead Corporal did end up dying a lot in this game, but there is the issue of him playing at, I think, 100 ping right now. So probably would take him some time to get accustomed to that new ping number.
Indeed, but you gotta hand it to 404 though. They really went at it, and against Temple of Kings, I've seen much more experienced teams do much less, and we have to hand it to 404 for an admirable performance. It was clear that Katarina Bot was in it to win it this time, though. You gotta say.
I think he was having some fun out there going for the 1v3s. I see you there.
Right, right,
I
and
see, I see, I see you, Cat, but I know what is going through your head.
right, right. He was definitely having some fun and making sure that he had that dominance in mid side. And like later on in the game, he had so much damage and so much sustain. It was crazy. And if you could analyze the graphs over here, the damage graph.
So the damage graphs are pretty straightforward. Fed Arthur's bad for your team.
Indeed. Indeed, straightforward. A fed Carters will mean an annihilation, and an annihilation it indeed was. And you gotta give it to him. Like nevertheless, you gotta give it to Wukong as well. Wukong
Yeah,
did manage
Shogeki
to put a
definitely
lot of
showing up. He had his work cut out for him, like facing someone like Black Infinity in the jungle, not an easy task. All of the members of 404 really just fighting an uphill battle. Like I think their average MMR is about Platinum Emerald, and they're facing up against TOK with multiple members who have hit challenges. So definitely not the easiest game for them, but definitely very impressive of them to be holding their own to this extent against a team like TOK. But yeah, that makes me excited for the next matches.
Indeed, it does make me excited for the next matches. Hats off to 404. What a stunning performance. However, Temple of Kings, unsurprisingly, do remain in the throne. They are on the throne and they are phenomenal. This performance was testament to the fact that their strengths are far beyond many teams present in the competitive scene. And we're just going to have to see how they do in the future, because they're going to just keep on going. Will they be bulldozing teams just like they did right away? I mean, right now?
I expect them to face more resistance as we keep moving down further ahead in the tournament, in the semis, in the finals. It should be interesting as they face stronger teams with the same roster, but with a couple of switcheroos in the role. So it should be interesting to see.
Indeed, that is well said. And with that being said, we're going to be moving on to the next match very soon. We apologize for all the technical difficulties and all. We're trying to make sure the experience is great for you. So thank you for your patience and thank you for supporting League of Legends. And yeah, we're going to be bringing you much more amazing games. So yeah, please stay with us.
Awake to my voice and hear the call within. Embrace
Awake to my voice and hear the call within. Embrace the fear inside. Surrender your mind tonight again.
lot of damage and the shutdown. That
This is one fight that I feel
huge Wukong.
Oh lord. Stolen he seasoned. Man. Oh my god, the early game is so deadly with the souls. And he just to steal the mountain break. Oh my god, look at that. Flash double. Holy shit.
Hello, everyone, and a good evening to you. I welcome you back warmly to South Asia Legends Cup, presented by Riot Games, the makers of League of Legends, developer, publisher, and esports tournament organizer based in Los Angeles, California. And my goodness, I never thought I'd see this day, but it's absolutely breathtaking knowing the league scene is growing oh so fast here in South Asia. At the beginning of this year, Riot Games did indeed make way for us with the new South Asia League and TFT servers. Tonight, yet again, we come together in order to celebrate the game, which is but a part of our lives, in which we have made so many memories, forged so many relations, faced so many unyielding opponents, an esport boasting over 152 million players as of 2023. This is League of Legends, a MOBA which is without a doubt the most popular in the world today. Tonight, we have yet another phenomenal tournament in our hands as we move on throughout the quarterfinals. We're going to be moving on to the next match, which is um, Altar of Kings versus Generation of Miracles. And I'm joined here by Potato Monster, and I would like to add that Altar of Kings with their member Thorfinn and his Shinzao, cutting through his enemies in group stage with 21 takedowns in their match against Team Ascend. Sam with a takedown count of 26. Their team seems to be in top form as they've raged into the quarterfinals, I have to say. Generation of Miracles, I have to say, is a mashup of two of the most important and strengthened teams of Bangladesh, Ace Phoenix and Ace Wyvern. You know, they have Swad, they have Envy Bro over there at the helm of it all. They've got Clashmaster 7, and yeah, they've got D1 Massacre, Origa. And so, yeah, they have an incredibly strong lineup. And even though, considering the technical difficulties they have been facing throughout the group stage, they have absolutely dominated in all matches but the one against Temple of Kings. But you got to consider that it's Temple of Kings at the end of the day. And to beat the final boss, you got to be truly worthy of it. And to see Generation of Miracles absolutely demolish all the other teams which they had to face yesterday. It was absolutely fantastic. We will see whether they are able to deal with Altar of Kings, however, who have really shown their dominance in the group stage, though.
Yeah, definitely. Coming in very strong with group stage. We are going to be heading into draft, and the first ban that we see is going to be the Shen.
Right.
I guess
Shen
that's a
does
target
get
ban.
Yeah, Clashmaster 7 is a Shen one trick, even though he does boast a lot of champions. A lot of champions are in his arsenal. However, the Shen does get banned, and it seems like the Shinzao will get banned. It seems like both teams have been doing their homework.
Yeah, Zinja ban definitely very expected against Thorfinn down there in the mid lane, and two bans to go. I expect a Pantheon ban to also be part of that, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it seems
And
to be a Jarvan ban next, so taking away that really strong jungle presence in the early game.
indeed, and Broken Blade has been excelling with not only the Wukong as well as the Jarvan. These are champions he's very comfortable with. So Altar of Kings will not want that early game pressure, and with the Gore Drinker, he will be doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, tanky, pretty strong early game. The Jarvan definitely capable of snowballing games of out of control. And as expected, we have the Pantheon target ban against Thorfinn again. taking away like two of the champions that he's really proficient on, and that's going to leave them with one
Sharpening my
band to work
feathers.
with. It's going to be interesting to see how they choose to spend that. Probably they might choose to ban out Vladimir against Zuko, take that champion away from them, but we'll see how they decide to proceed with it.
Right, and it seems like Zaya is banned for the ADC of Generation of Miracle side over there. We remember in the group stages, SWAT, aka Bolty or Boltisti over here, did put up a formidable performance with the Zaya and Rakan. Envy on Rakan, they had really controlled their bot lane. So yeah, Altar of Kings are really banning out the threats and in this scenario.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be first pick for the side of AOK, and they choose to go with the Ash really strong in the meta, but yeah, they go for the first pick Ash, so that's going to give a hint to Generation of Miracles to go for probably something that can punish that immobile ADC pick. That being said, Ash does have a lot of kite potential, and it's interesting to see that they first pick the Ash here, really not expected. And it seems that a Wukong is going to be picked up in response. That's going to be a great pickup against the Ash because that's already one target you can dive pretty easily.
We have seen Broken Blade previously really go ham on that Wukong over there. And as you had said previously, pre level 6, Wukong isn't really a threat. However, certainly he did manage to ensure that the bot lane was in trouble. Temple of Kings had a rough time against that Wukong, that's for sure.
Yeah, they had a rough time against that Wukong, but honestly, the Wukong, while he was doing a lot of damage down in the bottle, and I think a lot of it was in part due to the fact that Corporal switching to ADC, not really him and Kranko haven't really had the time to get that synergy and being on the same page. But we are moving on to the next game, and the Wukong pick here might work out. It's hard to say because it's pretty early in the draft, but Wukong generally does not have a lot of very hard counters as such. He gets to level 6 and then he can do his job. Maybe we might see another Karthus pick in response to that. But we did see the Diana ban coming in, targeting Ashty Crusher.
Right, and we can consider that Altar of Kings are realizing the possibilities that giving the strengthening champions or the pocket picks of Generation of Miracles would be trouble. They don't want to have that threat that okay they have these comfort picks even though Shen right now in the meta is not so savvy, is he? Like Shen isn't that great. However, Clash Master 7 is an excellent Shen player, and they have wisely taken Shen out of the equation over here. And it's surprising to see that Envy isn't playing mid over here. He usually is a mid lane player, and he has a lot of mid lane champs in his arsenal. Nevertheless, as the leader that he is, he does opt for the support over here. We will just have to see how the execution goes, right?
It'll be interesting to see. Of course, there's like a couple of toss ups here and there. It seems like a lot of teams are tossing up people amongst roles. But yeah, if they feel good about it, they feel good about it. And as they say, ban the one trick champions for the one
Right.
tricks.
Hell
Don't
yes.
let the
And
one trick get his one trick.
right. And for all those who are watching, we apologize again. There are some technical difficulties. A client bug has caused us to get out of the drafting phase. We will be coming back into it shortly. Please stay with us. And Potato, with all the info we do have, we know there's an Ash. We know there is a Wukong. So, yeah, as you said, Ash is in trouble if Wukong does manage to get onto her. However, we've seen her kiting potential. Ash being the champ she is, I believe one of the strongest ADCs in the game state or the state of the meta right now. So with Ghost, she will be able to really get out of those dangerous situations, I believe.
Yeah, Ash is really looking to get that Kraken Slayer into the Trinity Force and get really good at being able to kite people out. Of course, the Wukong connecting with her with the dash ult does lock her down, but the entire draft phase is left, and they got there are a number of ways to counteract that with other champions. For example, your support.
Right, right. And I would I mean, if I was in the place of Altar of Kings, I of course they do have players and they do what's it called hone strategies which are far beyond my comprehension to some extent, I guess. But I would say that the Braum does go really well with Ashe in many scenarios. You know, with that shield and with that slow, Braum is going to be, if they do choose to go for that Freljordian combination at bot side, I believe they will have some strength, some formidable strength.
It does form a very strong lane in terms of kill setup and gank setup because we have Ashe ultimate, Braum ultimate for setup. And once you get tagged by an Ashe arrow, the slow means that you're probably going to get the Braum passive proc, but that it also depends on what the enemy comp is because Braum really isn't that strong right now. So it's important to pick him in places where you can get a lot of value out of his unbreakable shield. So I don't know if they will choose to go for the Braum blind pick. Of course, he does offer a lot in a competitive 5v5 setting, especially even more so than solo queue. But still, I would guess that they would probably go for something. For example, the Braum is not going to be super amazing at keeping the Wukong away from the Ashe, instead of something like maybe an Alistair would, or maybe a Thresh would do a way better job at peeling for the Ashe.
Right, you are. That's good analysis right there. And on the other hand, Generation Miracle side over there, they don't have Zaya. The Zaya pick over there, I believe they will not be opting for the Rakan. I believe so. However, Voltisti does go for the Wayne and the Jinx, and I know NB Pro does play that Melio. So, how do you believe the Wayne and Melio pick would go? Should they go for this combination?
Millia also not a champion that is like amazingly strong right now. He's pretty decent after the latest buffs. Video Vayne I feel like was going to suffer a lot in terms of like being a lane that does not wave clear very well. So that could be a bit of a like with the Vayne you either want an enchanter support to help you control the wave, covering Vayne's like really traditional weakness of having probably the single worst wave clear out of every single ADC.
Fair,
But Milio doesn't really add too much of wave clear. Yeah, he can do some damage with his Q, but that's not a spell he maxes to begin with, and subsequently you don't actually do a lot of. So either like you go for a strong engage support that can help the Vayne get some kills in the early game, or you go for an enchanter support to that can kind of offset Vayne's lack of wave clear.
fair, fair. And speaking of tournaments and all that's going on, we know that Worlds is going on right now, huh? Do you
Oh
have any
yes.
team which you are supporting at the moment?
No, I'm supporting myself yet again this worlds by not watching it.
Fair, fair. I mean, I will say that me being of course, many people may disagree. However, I feel that Faker has given um, so much for League of Legends, you know, throughout his lifetime. And I have to say that not if there was an ideal player I could pick, I would say it's Faker. Whichever team he is in, I would support. It's basically like Messi, you know, whichever team he's in, I would support him. And Faker, I have basically cried for him. You know, back in the day, throughout my old A levels, you know, studying overnight, you know, watching Worlds and seeing T1 coming oh so close and really failing at the end. And you know, I would like to see Faker lift that cup, lift that trophy one more time. You know,
Yeah, I think you're not alone in that sentiment. Definitely a lot of people out there who want to see the return of the unkillable Demon King.
right? A lot of people want to see him fail too, and that is understandable. Some people might say that okay, the hype around him is too much. A lot of people support European teams and all, but yeah, I would personally like to see a Faker really give it everything he's got and really get to lift that trophy one more time. You know, T1 is a team of legend. You know, so so many new
Yeah.
teams coming up. You know, G2, Gen G. So yeah, there's a lot going on in Worlds right now with so many teams. You know, sad to see C9 getting pounded though throughout the time. So, but yeah,
RIP NA.
Yeah, yeah.
Hashtag in worlds.
Yes, indeed. And I would like to say that, a lot of players have taken inspiration from so many of these players. I myself watching the Riot Game streams of these tournaments and LPL, LCK, the NA tournaments. So, but yeah, I gotta say that people learn a lot and they really evolve themselves and they really integrate with the play styles which these teams have, and we can see in the South Asian tournaments that those what's it called evolutions are taking place, and you can see so many amazing teams, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's a lot of amazing teams, a lot of great players. Obviously, exciting to watch these guys face off against each other. Hopefully, we can resolve the client bug soon and get back into game. But
Right, we are
yeah,
indeed waiting for it. We're waiting for that match. We apologize again. These technical difficulties are the death of us, but we're just trying to, get by it. Just trying to ensure that a stream worthy of your time is being presented. So yeah, Potato, how's your rank climb going?
I have evaded the Diamond 4 police and snuck my way into Diamond.
Congratulations, my friend. You've done it, I guess. Well done, well done. I after I believe 300 plus games managed to get into plat being a real
Yeah,
man.
it's basically Diamond Blood, basically same rank.
Not really. There's that emerald barrier, but yeah.
It's all the same. It's just like you just have this graph of platinums. They type more in chat and playlist. That's it.
Right, right, right. And I would like to say like there are some maybe perhaps what's it called decision making issues which I feel
Minor, minor, minor,
across.
minor details that we don't
Yeah.
care about.
Right, right, right. And it really stops us from climbing. I was just talking with my friend yesterday recently that if when we move into solo duo, we just have to take it not like a norms game. It has to be different because everyone is fighting towards a goal. Not always, however, especially in low elo, players are not really going towards one goal. They would rather flame you. All right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's not something that really changes as you go up. There's always that one guy.
Right, that one guy who doesn't really want to win or doesn't really care about it. However, if you want to win, you have to really lead the team, whether it's by pings or whether it's by messaging them, unless you get chat restricted, which I have multiple times in the past. Yeah, but the good news, however, is that your patience is going to be rewarded as we're moving into the game, right?
Yeah, finally, and hopefully, I think it should be the same picks and bans as we go into draft phase yet again. And yeah, that's kind of what climbing is about. Not losing your mind over the malfights that go 2 and 14.
Absolutely. Well said, my friend. And we see that the similar bans are being presented over here to us. The Shen ban going over so that Clash Master 7 does not get that comfort pick. Yeah.
The warrior spirit is
Yep,
United.
and it's pretty much going to be the same bands coming through. So we'll see the Shen, the Jarvan coming in, and then probably a Pantheon ban, and then should be a Dyna ban and the Zaya ban to round things off.
Right, right. And we would like to thank all of you for watching. Thank you for your
Sharpening my
patience.
feathers.
We are doing our best and we appreciate your understanding, truly. And we are just hoping to ensure that the quality of what we're presenting is great. So, yeah, feel free to comment, feel free to show your support. SMG and Riot Games, they're trying to bring League of Legends in such a fashion in South Asia. So, yeah, your support would mean a lot. So keep watching and stay tuned.
And we see the Ash and the Wukong ban, and this is where we left off last time. So I guess we finally find out what's going to be the second pick in the first rotation for Generation of Miracles over here, and they should be locking in the Wukong over here, and we'll switch over to Broken Blade, who's going to pick the second champion over here.
Right. And the second champion might be the same one which was previously picked. And we know Wukong. As far as we know, we were imagining a scenario where Wukong absolutely demolishes the Ash, right? And we were considering scenarios where she survives. So, yeah.
It's
Seems
going to be
like
the
we'll get
Jinx, and as
it.
expected, they go for a bot lane pick in response to the bot lane pick from Altar of Kings, and now I'm expecting a support and jungle to be locked in over here.
Right, a support and jungle would ensure that they have a solid uh, thinking frame, considering that they would want those champions picked so that the other roles get a chance. 2 seconds on the
They might
clock.
also choose to pick a mid laner here because of Nero's relatively small champion pool to kind of get around having two more bans thrown at him. But it looks like it's going to be the Sejuani. So we have the Freljordian combo, not friends but enemies. But Ash and Sejuani pretty good. That's already a lot of control being set up by Altar of Kings here.
Indeed, right you were with that jungle pick going in, and Sejuani is a very problematic champ. We can see that Freljordian squad getting together, huh?
And the Jana pick here is beautiful. Offers a lot of disengage. And with the Ash and Sejuani, the bot lane still is pretty vulnerable to ganks over here. I'd expect the Jinx to go for a cleanse summoner spell to make sure that she doesn't get arrowed and immediately blown up. And we see a Karma pick. Great pickup here. Should be able to kind of bully the Jana in the early game where she's kind of weak and create space for the Jinx who just really wants to farm and hyperscale into the later stages of the game.
Really well analyzed over there. They would really want to ensure that Janna has a tough time in the lane. However, we've seen the Altar of King support really shine in times of desperation. So yeah, we're gonna just have to see how the bot lane fight goes. A lot rides on the bot lane over there. Whether Janna will be able to provide enough peel to the Ashe to survive the onslaught, I believe Broken Blade will really be focusing on getting the Generation of Miracles bot side ahead.
Yeah, Generation of Milkers, the bot side, the Jinx definitely going to be a solid win condition. And they already have some pretty solid team fight here with the Wukong ult and the Jinx rockets. And Altar of Kings on the other hand, a lot of really strong pick potential with the Ashe ultimate, the Sidwani ultimate, and really solid disengage with the Jana.
Indeed, well said. We are waiting for something to happen over here, waiting for that X factor. Seems like Seth and Yone will be taken out. Generation of Miracles don't want to deal with that, and the Kassadin and Silas being taken off of Generation of Miracles' hands over here. The Ornn gets picked for Generation of Miracles top side, and I absolutely love it.
I like the on pick here, fits into the kind of team fight setup they're going for. Is also relatively safe in the top lane and offers even more scaling. So Generation of Vehicles really seem to be building this hyper scaling comp around the Jinx, and in response we have the Mordecai at the top, a great pickup against the Ornn in general, although I think the Ornn can use his unstoppable effect to kind of just cuck the Mordekaiser ultimate. It is a bit hard to pull off, but it is definitely possible. But yeah.
But
And
then
it seems
again,
like
Mordekaiser does take you to that death realm, and when you're there, it's going to be a problem. He's going to
yeah,
bash you right into the ground. What do you think about that Ari pick by Altar of Kings?
I like it. I like it. Like this is shaping up to be a really nice pick composition, right? Because we have the Ash
Right?
Arrow, we have the
Yeah.
Sejuani ultimate. Mordecai is just there to throw everybody into complete fucking. Oh my god, is that a Vega?
Yes, and it seems like Vagar will be picked by Generation of Miracles. It seems like the mid laner want to go that scaling way over there. And, Envy going for that karma is very interesting. I've seen him practice throughout the last few days, and his karma seems to be on point. Bolzisti has substantial experience on that Jinx. So, Gen of Miracles do have a very strong bot lane, but it will depend upon execution. All right. I hope to see Altar of Kings absolutely go ham on the bot side of of Miracles. You know?
Yeah, this is going to be this is an interesting matchup, right? So we have Generation Miracles with a very strong scaling late game team fight comp, and on the other hand, we have Altar of Kings who have really strong early games in the form of the Mordekaiser, the Ahri, and the Ashe. There's a Janna to provide some disengage in there, and their goal is going to be just basically get pick after pick. You have such amazing tools to get picks: Ashe Arrow, Mordekaiser Ultimate, the Charm from Ahri. Just like if you get hit by something, it's a classic. Just you get hit by something, you get hit by everything. Just
Indeed.
get one kill and you're ahead and you play the game 4 versus 5. That's going to be the goal for Altar of Kings. And although they are the academy team for Temple of Kings, do not underestimate these guys because all of them are veterans of the scene and extremely skilled players individually. But Generation of Miracles, like these players are nothing to scoff at either. Really strong team fight over here. Like on Ultimate, Wukong Ultimate with the Jinx and the Veigar to lay down damage from a distance. If a team fight does not start on the terms of Altar of Kings where they are able to get a pick onto the Vega, the Jinx, or maybe even the Karma Wukong, those team fights could very easily go completely in the favor of Generation of Miracles because they have just so much team fight power there.
Really well said over there. And I have to say, you are right. Altar of Kings, they boast an amazing lineup over here. All these players, Zuko, Ash, D Crusher, Thorfinn, Sam, Suvo, they have been dominating throughout the group stages, and they are here, right here. With the tutelage of Temple of Kings, you can expect that they know what's gonna go down. All right. They have the what's called insight from the masters of India. Like we know how Temple of Kings are. They have a separate fan base, but they do come common in the sense that they all know that they are the best, right? So we can see Altar of Kings really carrying the banner. They are kings themselves, right?
Yeah,
So
they're trying really hard to be second best SMH.
right, and we can see their expertise in the drafting phase they've put up over here, because I am loving the Altar of Kings draft. Yes, Miracles have a generic draft. Let's say, okay, they do have a balanced team scope over here. However, Altar of Kings have a very fashionable drafting over here. The champions they've chosen, all right. So if they do manage to get ahead, it may mean trouble for Miracles. They may not be able to come back.
Yeah, it's going to be for me. It's going to be some looking at something around the 20-25 minute mark. The only question for me is Generation of Miracles going to be hold out for like those 20-25 minutes? And if they do, and the Jinx and the Vega are going to get like two and a half, three items, at that point, I think it gets very difficult for Altar of Kings to find fights that they want. Of course, it's a pick composition. They could always like be really skillful with getting those picks, but a lot of those champions don't really scale that amazingly into the late game. Mordekaiser is decent, but like on is on. We have Sejuani is mostly just there for pick potential and stuff. Ash, while she can do a lot of damage, like it doesn't really match up to the amount of output that a Jinx is going to have. And it's the same for the Ari. Ari is just looking at having that early to mid game strength, and she just looks at falling off in the late game. So it's going to be important for Altar of Kings to play the early game really well. And for Generation of Miracles, the Wukong is going to look to have to get his level 6 super fast. Make sure that none of his lanes get really smashed, because that could spell doom for them. All they need to do is survive to 20-25 minutes, and after that, their comp just does it for them.
Indeed, that is well said over there. And we have to consider that in the group stages, Altar of Kings did not show any mercy. The few games they did manage to play, considering some of them were, I believe, walk-offs, All right, walkovers. Nevertheless, Altar of Kings, they were there for all of them, and they indeed the matches they played, they showed their expertise. You can see that these players are not only experienced, they have an ambition as they're moving forward. Their drafting phase, as we have seen right now, I absolutely loved it, and I feel that to some extent they have one up over Generation of Miracles, considering Mordekaiser being a factor over here. All right, if he does manage to ult away that Ornn, that ultimate is not going. That Ram is not charging towards their enemies. So a substantial form of CC will go, and I believe if Mordekaiser does even go even, it does go even in lane. All right, so he will be able to take down Ornn pretty easily later on.
Yeah, the side lane matchup will definitely consist of the on just simply trying to hold off the Mordekaiser and more like just clear waves and not die. Whereas the Mordekaiser is going to look to probably really apply some really strong split push pressure and use that to get ahead. But yeah, I think AOK has the more kind of balanced composition here, where yes, they are a very strong pick composition, but they don't really suffer from a lot of weaknesses. I would say that maybe a bit less wave clear than you would like, but it's really a decent amount of wave clear. And at the end of the day, it's a pick comp. They're not looking to sit at mid and siege and clear wave after wave. But we are going to be loading into the game, and it looks like it's going to be pretty standard starts for everyone in the game as they just kind of spread out and watch out for invades.
Right, the invades are dangerous factors, especially of a game of this stature over here. Let's say whether Gom will be able to take out AOK being a force to be reckoned with. However, Gom, as you said, nothing to be scoffed at. Let's see what goes on.
Yep, and it looks like the Karma is stepping up, trying to find some cheeky poke. No ward plays down over there, so both teams probably do not have a lot of information regarding the enemy jungler. So they're going to just have to kind of figure that out and lamau the tornadoes.
Yeah, the tornadoes do keep coming. I love Jenna as a champion, a solid support champion mixed with glacial augment. She's a force to be reckoned with. It seems like a lot of damage will be dealt upon Envy. However, the Karma empowered Q does go. Nevertheless, it will not be similar damage which Ash did ensue upon the Karma.
Yeah, the enemy was kind of just standing up too far forward there, so he got caught in a bit of a 1 versus 2, took damage from both members of the enemy bot lane. But we do see the wave clear strength of Karma and Jix coming into play here as they are getting priority in this lane and looking to hit level 2 before their counterparts.
And yes, it seems like even though top lane is an island, it is an island where two absolute gods are battling it out. The Lord of Iron over there and the Ram God Ornn. So yeah, it's going to be a crazy match, and we can see Zuko hammering away on Clashmaster 7. However, his HP does not go down, does it? And mixed with that
He
Doran
is,
shield.
yeah, he is a very big boy.
Indeed, he is, and you can see that it is a farm race going on, trying to get as much farm, trying to get as much XP to get ahead of the laners, and we can see Mordekaiser not doing much damage onto Ornn at this stage of the game.
Yeah, he wants to get couple of levels. Although I did expect Mordekaiser to get a easy push lead in the early game, but doesn't seem to be the case as Clashmaster finds himself some really nice short trades that he wants, just avoiding getting into a long fight with the Mordekaiser where he really excels with his passive and his low cooldown Q. Just goes for really short trades and he's coming out on top of because of that in the top lane, which is really good for him because if he gets a lead early on in the game, that delays the break-even point where the Mordekaiser just auto wins in the side lane.
And we can see Wukong does manage to get that blue buff in. Gom will have to be careful not to allow AOK to get those early leads. It's going to spell a lot of trouble for them. And we have to consider that Mordekaiser will be doing so much damage as soon as the Rylai's is done. And with that passive, it's gonna be an eternal age of slowing. All right, so they have to be very careful about making sure which lane does go ahead.
And the mid lane matchup pretty much going as expected. Ari into the Vega. I actually really like the Vega pick into Ari because Ari kind of
Same.
finds it a bit hard to all in Vega because of his cage. Because he can't really dash through the cage, and if he plays the cage well, it's also hard to kind of use a flash to get over it because it's a ring. So Vega
However,
pick obviously very good against Ari. Has good wave clear to just kind of just contest the Ari, and he just scales better. But a charm,
yeah, the
oof, charm
charm
could spell
is
doom.
Charm is a lot of problem. As you can see, Origa has been lowered so well over there with one combination, and yeah, Ari is going to be looking for those, those important picks. It seems like Sejuani is over here. Origa almost down to 50% HP. However, we'll use that key to just stack up some, AP. We know Veigar wants to do those things, right? Wants to get enough fed by hitting those opponents with those Qs.
Yeah, and that works out fine. Orega is able to sniff out the gank, and he just respects it. Does not play too far forward in the lane. He just goes back. He can teleport back to lane. He's good. He just wants to be farming. He's not looking to actually get kills in the early game. So the burden is on Ari and the Sejuani to do something about the Veigar pick in the middle lane.
And when you consider that there are so many scaling champ on the side of GOM, like the Miracles, they would want Ornn to get ahead. All right. Nevertheless, they would want Jinx to be fed in terms of farm. All right. They would really want to ensure that Jinx has a safe laning phase, wants to get all those cannon minions in, wants to get those items in, so that they will be able to deal substantial damage upon a pretty tanky team, which AOK has.
Yeah, the Sejuani and Mordecai are definitely present a really solid front line. There's some trades going down in the middle lane, but it's interesting that in the bot lane, we see that Jinx is up almost 12 CS. 12 to 15 CS on the Ashe, which is not really expected. Yes, the Janna is not the strongest champion in the early game, but I kind of feel like Ashe should still be able to get more CS, but probably too much harass from the Karma, and they're just constantly being shoved in tower because of all of this wave clear. But we that bot lane is just really looking to get their level 6, where Ashe gets her ultimate, and then that's the big go signal for this pick comp to really come alive.
Right, and Miracle seem to have secured that first dragon. Ashe clawing away at Jinx over there, trying to reduce her HP as much as possible. On the other hand, topside seems to be no less in terms of action. The Jinx wants to fight, it seems, however, will be caught. Karma on the other side of the map trying to survive. However, what's going to happen? Bolzisti trying to deal damage onto a very tanky Sejuani. Will have to get out. The first blood does go over to the side of the Miracles. Ari is there. The ult goes in. However, will Jinx be able to survive? On the other hand, a double kill goes over to the side of Sejuani.
Meanwhile, in the top side, something unexpected has happened where Zuko has been solo killed by Splash Master.
Kaiser like that, especially
Yeah, I
this
feel
early
like
in the
this is
game.
a huge misplay by GOM because their mid laner wanted to recall and reset, and they're choosing to start this 3 versus 3 in the bot lane, and your mid laner isn't available right now. So he can't really follow up on the Ari roam. You have to be respectful of the fact that Ari as a champion is a champion that fundamentally wants to push waves and roam, and you are giving her exactly what she wants by having this extended 3 versus 3 down in the bot lane. Yes, they do take down the Ashe, and the kills go over to Sejuani, which isn't like ideally you want them on the Ashe or the Ari, but still that it's not really great. Yes, Clashmaster is able to equalize it by getting a complete solo kill up in the top lane, but yeah. Just
But yeah,
bot.
Jinx got taken down at bot side as well. So AOK does come up at top over there. And as usual, very well analyzed Potato. Gotta say, nevertheless, we see that Clash Master 7 having a boost of confidence after having taken out the Lord of Iron like that. We'll just see whether Zuko has any answer to what Clash Master 7 brings to the table. All right, so we can
So
see that the
we
Bobby
have
Cinder is up.
something, a very nice disrespect play over here. I see a chain west on the on.
Oh, we'll probably be going for the Sunfire AGs, it seems. But talking about disrespect, Zuko trying to really run down Classmaster 7, bringing him down to 50% HP, making him realize that this is not really his lane just yet.
Yeah,
So,
even
yeah,
though he went for the chain west, which is interesting.
right. It is very interesting. And Clashmaster 7
But
seems
he
to be.
does find himself dropping a fair bit low. I think, yes, you did get the solo kill. I think going for a chain west here is probably a bit too cheeky. But yeah,
Yeah, and it's
it is what
interesting
it
to
is.
see. It's interesting to see Origa just cage the Ari, bring her down to 50% HP, and just push on the ultimate. You know, just an expression of skill over there, huh? It seems like, however, the fox has been caught into the trap, but the trap is not adequate. Ari will just get the hell out of there, and Clashmaster 7, on the other hand, he's in deep waters.
Does manage to connect the on ult. There's a stun to hold him down on the turret, and they're going to disengage. And Jinx ult goes wide as Mordekaiser and Sejuani realize that this dive is going south, and the on is just too tanky to kill right now.
You gotta consider that was excellently done by Clashmaster 7 over there. You know, he was outnumbered, sure. Alright, the jungler was right there in the best position possible. Okay, we've seen the Sejuani really carry it for AOK so far. Alright, nevertheless, the Ornn ultimate did manage to get him out of trouble. He was very low. I believe he was 35% HP over there. So yeah, with Clashmaster 7 falling, a lot of platings would have gone over to the side of AOK.
Yeah, that would have been bad because like this matchup is going to be like the Mordekaiser is eventually going to beat you in the side lane, right? So giving him kills in the early game could be pretty disastrous because you want to be in a situation where at some point he's going to beat me in the side lane, not at some point he's just going to dive me over and over and kill me.
Right you are, and we are yet to see a defining moment of this match as we know early game one mistake could mean a lot. We can see Miracles really trying to play it smart, really not trying to take unnecessary engages. However, AOK really dominating the map side over here as we can see that they are already near the dragon side.
Yep, and things are going pretty much great for GM. As I say that a team fight breaks in, Veigar cage cuts off the dragon entrance. REQ pass through, tags multiple people as Janna goes down. Wukong drops low in the bot lane. The Ash arrow connects onto the Jinx who immediately cleanses. Jinx rockets dealing so much damage alongside the Wukong ult. Looks like ID Crusher is going to try to escape with his life. Goes for the blast cone, but is taken down by a Q from.
Don't you think?
Yeah, and this comes down to what I spoke about the comps. Like AOK's comp does not want to fight a fair fight. They need to get a pick. They need to use that Ash Arrow before the team fight, before the dragon to take someone out. Layer it with the Sejuani or Janna can do some knockups, take someone down, and then you have the Janna to really disengage safely and then fight like that. But if you taking a straight up 4 versus 4 in this case fight, you're going to deal with Jinx chompers and Vega rings constantly zoning you, so it's very hard for the Ari to maneuver these fights, and then the Ash Arrow is like kind of worthless because it just gets cleansed, and this not playing to your comp strength will usually is usually not a great idea if you're not super ahead.
Really well said over there. And as you can see, AOK did opt to unleash the rift at mid side, trying to get some gold out of that. You know, they would really like to bridge the gap they have. And we can see Ari having a slight CS advantage over there. Sejuani having a pretty good jungle farm advantage. And it seems like Altar of Kings are back at the dragon over there. Clashmaster 7 seeing that he wants to stop Mordekaiser's teleport. Zuko was trying to really go for it, or maybe waiting for it, right? However, they will easily manage to take that Drake.
Yeah, they like Generation Miracles doesn't really care about the dragon, right? They already expended quite a few resources. Then they're just happy to farm and scale into the late game. Like, the dragons don't really matter unless it's Elder, and they already like delayed it by a bit with that earlier scuffed dragon fight.
Indeed, and it seems like as we're nearing to the mid game, Generation of Miracles keeping a steady lead in terms of kills. All right, however, Altar of Kings making sure that those objectives go in their favor, and they will need all the gold they can get.
True. And they are with a gold lead, and as you say that there's a gank attempt here in the bot lane. The Sejuani ult doesn't really connect. Cleanse is used by Jinx to get out safely, and no harm, no foul, and look like that means Rift Herald.
Right, it seems like a Rift Herald going over to the side of Generation of Miracles, and we know the Rifts are incredibly important, especially okay, hold that thought. Broken Blade wanted to move into the still waters of AOK jungle. However, he is outnumbered. His ult goes in. Clashmaster 7 here to support his jungler. Clashmaster 7 has taken out Zuko, and my god, in such fashion. The Sejuani having to run, however, no longer, because Janna is there. Janna is there to support her teammates, and it seems like Sejuani will live to see another day. And excellent timing by Clashmaster 7 to get over there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I don't know. Like AOK seems to be just going for random fights without really any goal in mind. They don't. Zuko is already pretty behind. He got solo killed by the Ornn, and he hasn't really found much. Like fails to kill Broken Blade within the ult, and like the CC setup means that he just dies immediately. And even though the Janna shows up to save the day, like Janna and Sejuani like don't do damage. Those two champions don't do damage.
Not yet, right? It seems like, you know, okay, AOK will have to concede this turret right now. Nevertheless, AOK still have plenty of potential. If they really focus on those team fights, they have to catch GOM off guard. That's what they have to do. But I have to say, Clashmaster 7 has been performing phenomenally. You know, especially against a matchup this difficult, considering Mordekaiser is Mordekaiser, right? But I have not been seeing Zuko really utilize that Death Realm.
Yeah, it's been hard for him to find kind of get openings with that. That's the whole thing where I said like Ornn's dash will actually cancel out the Death Realm, so it needs to be timed well. So maybe that's kind of causing Zuko to go easy on those Death Realm casts. But Ornn is 2-0 right now. He is now actually making magic plays, so it's even harder for Zuko. Like this is not a great look for Zuko because you have like this Ornn has gone for a Sunfire Cape, and the top side is entirely magic damage, and he's fine.
He's fine. Surprisingly, you know, he's got the magic boots over there, so Mark Shreds, nevertheless. Yeah. It seems like Zuko is not finding that silver lining he's looking for. However, could this be a defining factor? Yes. Ornn is being taken into the Death Realm. Ari is there to back up her top laner. As soon as Clashmaster 7 will be out, he will be taken down by Ari, and what an important shutdown.
That is a super important shutdown for the side of AOK, and it goes on to the Ari, and now as we are approaching into the mid game, we are around 18 minutes. They're fast approaching the point where people have 3 items and they just get run over. The Scom, they have a window right now to use to kind of get picks and get a lead, because that really hasn't happened yet. And I kind of feel like Clashmaster 7 if he had gone for a magic resist item instead, because there's a lot of magic damage coming in from the side of AOK. Ari, Mordekaiser, Sivani, and Chana, they're all magic damage dealers. Like, it's only the Ash that actually does physical damage. So
It seems like 2 people will be inside the Veigar cage. However, Broken Blade does manage to take out Thornpin over there. Orn goes right in. Clashmaster 7 a bit too deep. However, it seems like Veigar cage will manage to get a few more again. And their top laner will be able to just walk back into safety. 1-for-1 over there. Who do you think is the winner in this scenario?
I think this is perfectly fine for Generation Manacles. They get the mid tower and it's a 1-for-1 trade, and scaling is on their side. Or the Wukong pretty much already dumped everything. There's nothing on the map. They got the mid turret right before Dragon spawn. So
Yes. Yeah, and
actually the jungler might not be here in time.
it also seems like Bolzisti, Swad will have to use up all of his sums. A fight is beginning to break out.
It looks like the Veigar gets shut down by the Mordekaiser, who takes him into the death realm. Karma is joining the fight. On ult goes down, is going to find 3 members on the side of AOK as they are smart together between AOE's. Multiple members are dropping low. Thorfinn, meanwhile, is still pretty healthy, dealing damage, but the damage dealers from the side of Generation of Miracles are already dead. So these are just the supportive members and a tank left over, and looks like that means that they... Wait, did Generation of Miracles get the dragon?
I am not sure regarding that. However, I have to know. It seems like Sejuani did manage to secure that very important dragon, and a double kill goes over to the side of Mordekaiser, and he'll be able to build up some very important items with that. He, God knows, he really needed it in that scenario. Another one goes over to Mord, so it seems like Zuko is back in action, huh?
Yeah, this is kind of what they needed. They like AOK did need to catch a break here, because they were going even. Like, they're still pretty much even against Generation of Miracles, right? Like, they're a dragon up there, like 600 gold up, but that's not where you want to be against this kind of composition. And the Mordekaiser definitely wanted to get a bit of a leg up so that he can start being more of a solo split push kind of threat in this scenario. And the kills and the shutdown from Veigar and whatever, but ignore that, as Orica has managed to find Veigar above the Baron pit, and this is pretty bad because Baron has just spawned, and an Ash arrow is going to connect onto the Wukong, but he is able to escape with some fancy footwork over there. And this means that they are going to find themselves trying to defend this Baron attempt without their mid laner.
A very cheeky attempt, but I mean a very cheeky way to get out of there. However, AOK do manage to get a very important pick over there. It seems like GOM, they do not have the capability to defend this Baron. I don't know.
Yeah, they are trying to go for something. The on ult is coming down. It's going to find out multiple members, splitting up the team fight really hard. It looks like there's a pause in the stream.
What a time, huh? What a timing to really get into that pause.
And I guess we have a bit of a rewind over here, so we'll shortly find out how the team fight went. So Veigar is down here. The respawn timer is almost up, but I don't think he makes it to the fight. And here we have the on ultimate. We have the teleport coming down, and 2 members find themselves on the sandwich between the on and their own team, so they get just isolated and killed down, and there's shutdowns going down. And this is what I was talking about. Like, Veigar just showed up at the fight at like the end, and it's so fucking hard for AOK to find a fight, a proper 5 versus 5 fight, because what their team comp does is it's really good at making picks. They were able to get the Veigar pick, but Veigar respawned and came back for the Baron attempt, so it kind of just fills apart.
It seems like Generation of Miracles are taking Altar of Kings down systematically. You know, they are taking them down one by one. You know, Thornfinn teleported behind the Baron. However, they have so much CC, and Generation of Miracles will easily take that Baron. However, it was not at all expected, wouldn't you say?
It was kind of a bit. The Baron time overall was pretty scuffed. Yes, they got the kill on the Veigar, but they kind of, I think, it's really hard to do a Baron this early in the game with a one-man advantage because you're also taking Baron damage. So they really did not get all that much. So, right, they got the Veigar, that's fine, but like most members of Generation Maker still had their ultimates. The on ultimate was still available. Jinx was still super healthy, sitting on 2 items. She's got her on upgraded item. Like it's still very hard to take a 4 versus 5 on Baron, and if you want to do it, you want to do it fast before the Veigar can TP and join in the fight.
I mean, at this scenario of Ultra Kings couldn't really uh, define that team fight with a 4v5 scenario with them having the advantage. It looks pretty grim for them at this stage of the game, considering the Jinx has scaled, Veigar has scaled, Ornn has scaled with a full 2 completed items.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about initially. We're looking at the 20 to 25-minute mark for them to like be able to establish a lead that actually lets them win these team fights. But what we saw up to leading up to this fight was they were pretty much dead even, and they kind of got the Veigar pick, yeah. But he was able to TP back to the fight. He was back there in time, and like with the on ultimate, and like the their comp is just not able to fight. Like there's such strong team fight ultimates on the side of Generation of Miracles. Like AOK needs to be splitting these members up. Mordekaiser needs to be in a side lane. He needs to be putting pressure. Arya needs to be in a side lane. She needs to be putting pressure. They aren't supposed to be taking this fight. They send members to the side lane. They split up members and then they get picks. That's what they do. If they try to fight the enemy team head on, they just lose.
Expertly analyzed over there, and we're just gonna have to see what reply AOK has to the complete dominance which Generation of Miracles have been showing right now. And considering so many items and so much gold going over to the side of Jinx over here, we're almost reaching a mid to late game, and we can consider that she will be doing so much damage. And not to mention, Origa on the Veigar has been phenomenal so far.
Yeah, Origa has been fulfilling his job really well on this Veigar. He's been there throughout the early game. He played safe. He got his farm. On the other hand, the Nero on the Ari is kind of not really didn't really do a lot. Like he for the most part just sat in lane. I think he went about roaming like twice, and like that's not what you want to see from Ari, right? You queue the wave and you just go fight other people. You don't play a fair game. You want to fight 2 versus 1. You want to fight 3 versus 1. You don't want to fight them on their terms at all.
It seems like a fight might break out over here. You take it away, please, Potato.
Oh my God, Mordekaiser he's like, I'ma just walk into the enemy team, get chain CC locked, and a Wukong ult is going down in the front line. Looks like Wukong is going to go down to the Ashe. Zhonya's is popped. That's going to let him survive for a bit longer, but the Veigar ult follow through does get the Ari, and rockets are being AoE damage. Sam is trying to deal as much damage as he can while Zuko tanks in the front line, but it looks like they're going to decide to cut their losses over here and move back as Suho ends up getting the kill, and they do manage to somehow find a bunch of kills and stop the Baron push by Generation of Miracles, and they end up trading 2 for 1, which is more or less fine. The Mordekaiser was really able to survive for so long there.
They were really strategic over here. Okay, they allowed their tanks to really take the blunt of it. All right, and you can see Sejuani being so tanky. I don't know how Mordekaiser survived over there, but Zuko exceptionally done, and we can see that he's healing a lot. You know, with the Jack Show in his arsenal, the more damage he takes, the more resist he will have. Generation of Miracles knew that they had to retreat in this scenario because there was no way to win that fight, and
it all comes down to a bunch of missteps. Like Clashmaster walks like too far forward, whereas Mordekaiser is still like standing in that brush. You can't just walk past the Mordekaiser and just leave him to go into your team, so that Auriga kind of just walks into the Mordekaiser and he gets caught, and that's just where the team fight just goes downhill, right? Because your Vega just died for free.
Yeah, and
And
they have
Clashmaster
to
was just like
really.
tanking, but you're not tanking for anyone. You're just standing in the enemy team because your team is standing back because the Mordekaiser is still there. So you
Yeah.
can't just walk past the Mordekaiser.
And you can't really win these fights even if you're Generation of Miracles in this situation. You can't be winning these fights when your tank is getting chunked down to oblivion and when your damage dealers are dying left and right. It seems like they will be probably going for some fight, but no, it's just intimidation right now. They're just having some turf wars, just marking their territories,
When they're
letting
trying
them
to
know.
establish dominance.
Indeed,
Whose
indeed,
rift
well
is it?
said over
But
there.
it looks like they are going to get vision control over the Baron, which is super amazing because these objectives are really great for Generation of Miracles at this point because they want to look for these big team fights and they have all of their ultimates available. Teleports are up, everything is amazing. This Baron could be where Generation Miracle just closes out the game, but AOK won't really just let them have it for free, will they? And
Yeah,
it
not
seems
at
like the
all.
Baron is being sorted. There's a flank teleport coming in, but it has already been spotted. Multiple members converge trying to punish it. Wukong gets caught. Vagar Cage comes down to try and disengage. Wukong still alive with the help of some shields. A knockup comes out. Flash and Jana ult to disengage. Some members are dropping low on the side of GOM. Auriga finds himself being taken down by HD Crusher. Zuko also finds the glitch, and that's the backline down. And this is the kind of chaotic fight that AOK was really looking for, and they kind of got it. And
You can just see their planning in this scenario, bro. I mean, oh my god. AOK go in so boldly. They knew that they had the monkey in their tracks over there. Veigar trying to save him, Karma trying to save him, and be giving them the shield. Nevertheless, AOK's team fight was phenomenal over here. So much so that they managed to take out the damage dealers so quickly. And you can see Ash with the flash already being used over there, has enough spacing to just cut down the Ornn. The Baron will easily go over to AOK's side and they deserve it. Okay, that was close. That was a close Jinx rocket by Squad over there. However, it seems like AOK are in the dominating seat at this point. Veigar being caught, trying to deal as much damage as possible. However, Thornfield will take Veigar out just like that. Will they be able to secure the Drake? Yes, Swad does manage to steal it. It seems like they will be able to run down the Mordekaiser, or will they? Broken Blade does use that ultimate. A huge shutdown goes over to their side. Broken Blade flashes in. Nevertheless, to no avail so far. Sejuani tanking so much, and Thornfield will take out NB just like that. Clashmaster 7 trying to play the role of the tank over here. Swat taken down by Sam, and my goodness, the Ash was phenomenal. And it seems like the last member of GOM will manage to survive, and it is surprisingly the tank. But you gotta give it to AOK. They have not only come back, they've turned this match around, bro.
true, and I think it comes down to GOM just really taking some very questionable fights. Like, yes, you are a team fight count. Like, it begins at the Baron where you see the Mordekaiser teleport and the entire like team of GOM is like 4 members go back and like, yeah, Mordekaiser is flanking us. We don't want to play with the Mordekaiser right on our asses. And Wukong is like, nah, bro, I'm going in.
Right. And it was surprising to see Auriga just go in like that. You have to be careful, especially when
Yeah,
AOK
like,
have
what is this
these-
Veigar? Holy shit. I was just praising Auriga for how disciplined he played the early game, taking it easy, just getting his farm because he's at Winger is nah, bro. Nah, bro, I'm going in. Jumps over
You
with
know-
the blast cord, gets obliterated.
This is League of Legends. It's such an unpredictable game, especially at this stage of the tournament, the quarterfinals, where the survivors of the drastic, tumultuous what's it called? First rounds have come. All right, so these are excellent teams, both of them, and to see one team make a mistake, you can realize the other team will capitalize on it. And Altar of Kings have indeed capitalized, and it seems like they have not stopped. No matter how much shield Jinx has, a Swad will be taken out. Thornfinn is excellent with those charms, and they are pushing for it. With that Baron buff, they are looking to besiege GOM's base. Envy just living with a sliver of HP.
I don't know. Like, why were they there? Why are you in the middle of the middle lane? There's no tower there. There's nothing to defend. There's no reason to be standing there.
That is a question GOM will ask themselves as they analyze this match, because it seems like AOK are going for that end.
They do get the inhibitor here, I think, and yeah, inhibitor does go down. Okay, we do have a bit of a rewind due to technical issues, but yeah, we should see the inhibitor going down shortly. The respawn timer on the Jinx still about like 11 seconds or something, and she should be respawning really soon, so it should be difficult to end, but they're able to get quite a bit of this Baron play, and like all of this started with GOM being like 3k ahead and now they're 6k behind, so a pretty huge 9k gold shift off of all of this.
I feel that miracles are real. Generation Miracles are really feeling that pressure right now, right, bro? I mean, they were ahead. However, Altar of Kings really turned this game around, and they are in the driver's seat of this match, and they are dictating it as well as they can. All right, I have to give it to Thornfinn for his charms. Those charms have been imperative in ensuring that the backline of GOM have no chance, and they have not been having a chance ever since that reckless Baron fight, right?
Yeah, they're just taking this really chaotic team fights, GOM. Like, like props to Thorfinn because he's been finding these amazing charms in both the Baron fight and in the fight near his own red buff jungle. Flash charm right on point, gets a pick, and that's how they win the fight, by taking down the backline. I think GOM really needs to slow things down, calm down a bit, let them get themselves a bit more farm. The Jinx is almost at 3 items. Let her get a 3 item spike, let her maybe even get 4 items, like almost, and play off of that, because you do have a really strong team fighting composition.
The skill factor, right? I mean,
Yeah,
there
and
is still
just play
factor.
front to back, just play front to back.
Right, but there's this thing, I've been noticing that they have this weird, unorthodox, impactful team fighting style, AOK. And I can tell they got it from Temple of Kings. They really, under their tutelage, this academy team has been stunning. I have never seen turnaround like this in a while. And I have to say that, okay, there we go. Ari goes in, and it seems like Veigar is caught in a very, very bad position. Thornfinn does not think twice before using the flash to ensure that kill. However, it seems like GOM has teammates over here. Thorfinn does go into stasis. Nevertheless, Jinx will shut down that Foxy Lady.
And this might be the break they were looking for. Big shutdown for Sword on that Jinx, and that is going to guarantee a bunch of components being completed, and that is exactly what they need. Meanwhile, it looks like the dragon is going to be picked up by... Okay, there's no pressure on GM to try and fight this. I think they should just let it go and chill out for a bit.
And what a match it has been so far, wouldn't you say, Potato Monster? I mean,
yeah, this match is definitely super cutthroat match that we have right here. Yeah, and we see the lot doms regards being completed by the Jinx. That item is going to be so key, because that Jinx is going to spend most of the team fight just smacking Mordekaiser and Sejuani, and the lot doms is going to be very, very important for her to make sure that she can do damage. And looks like Baron is the name of the game, as we look to throw the game once again on Baron. Or do we?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on over here. That Ornn ultimate goes in, does manage to only hit the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser chunked down so low. However, that shield, that HP Broken Blade will take out Mordekaiser. Swan dealing so much damage from the backline. Ash below 50% HP. Nevertheless, it seems like they will have to walk back. Is it a 2 for 2?
It looks like it might not be, as Suvo goes ahead and picks himself a nice little Veigar. Gets hit by the slow. This could be bad. Jana ult to knock the on away, gets hit by yet another slow. And oh my. Meanwhile, Thornfield is like, I don't want any of this. I'm taking your inhibit, boys.
Right, Thorfinn doing the real deal over there, trying to go for that inhib, and it seems like Ash will try to stop the back. Flashmaster 7 has to take a very long, lonely walk back to base. Will they be able to catch the Fox? We'll have to see. It seems like Envy does manage to get on that thread, and Flashmaster 7 knocks the Ari up so low. One more auto may have taken her down. Nevertheless, the Ari will live to see another day. Very ambitiously, AOK go for that Baron. However, both members, the support and mid, are so low.
Yeah, that was super close, and now they kind of trying to do this Baron. I really don't know about it. It's kind of sus, honestly.
It is very sus, but I don't think they want to let this go. Okay, the Ash trying to deal as much damage as possible over there. Nevertheless, Clashmaster 7 hovering Riverside. Okay, so it seems like GOM haven't lost their top side inhib yet.
Yeah, looks like that inhib survived just like the Ari.
Right, just a sliver of HP, and my goodness, what
I would
a match.
actually say
What a match.
that it would have probably been worth for Thorfinn to die for the inhib.
Fair, considering they were really dancing around the Baron for a while over there. A dance from both sides, you know, Clashmaster 7 walking here and there, trying to fish in the riverside, and there you can see Ash standing like a stone, you know, facing down that Baron's wrath. But yeah, it seems like nothing really came down to it.
Yeah, and it looks like we are back to where it all began. We just chilling out, farming waves, getting ready to throw over Baron once again.
Absolutely. But all jokes aside, what a match it has been so far. Both teams really showing their defensive and offensive prowess. You know, they have their strategies in order, and even though GOM seem to be really throwing, they have not given away this match yet. What do you think they really need to do to win in
They
this
just
scenario?
need a clean front to back team fight. Like on in the front, Wukong right behind him. Wukong is just peeling for his backline, dealing with the Mordekaiser and Sejuani if they try to dive in, and then just let the Jinx free hit, and that's about Jinx and Veigar free hitting. There's no way they survive that.
Yeah, and it seems like Ari will be taken out over there. Mordekaiser has nowhere to go. Orica making amends for the mess he made in the middle game, because it seems like he is back. 2 down from the side of AOK. They do not go for the Baron though. Are they going for the end, bro?
They actually could, because Ash doesn't really have a lot of wave clear, right? So they can't really stop them from barreling down the mid lane and taking this inhibitor. And once the inhibitor is down, that should, like, the pressure from the minions should let them get Baron later on in this game. And they are going to go for it. And are they going to keep pushing here? I'm not sure if the death timers are long enough for I think it might be a bit risky, but that teamfight was what I was talking about. If the Jinx and Aryan, and it looks like the teamfight continues as Sejuani gets caught inside ring. Jana ult is going to be used to disengage. Broken Blade goes down to Sam. He's trying to deal as much damage as possible, but he ends up being taken down by sword on the Jinx. But he does get a triple kill, and so for now, he manages to keep the base alive. And Thorfinn is dashing in, trying to get a pick, but his ult has run out. Charm does connect. Cleanse comes out to remove the charm effect. Chase continues as Mordekaiser loops around and finds sword. Q connects onto him. He's slowed. He's going to be taken down, and that's a shutdown over to the Sejuani. Meanwhile, Thorfinn finds himself in the bottom lane trying to push this tower down, and they might look to end this game themselves.
My god, what a turn yet again. This is a battle for the ages, a match for the ages. I'm gonna remember this. And my god, Altar of Kings seem to have turned it yet again. for a moment, it felt like GOM have really composed themselves. Origa getting that double kill. Swat dealing damage from behind, from the back line. However, it seems like AOK do not think that they can end right now. The death timers probably are not large enough. However, you gotta give it to AOK for really not only defending but putting up a performance for the ages, right?
Yeah, good defense by AOK. They stood by the Nexus towers. They didn't greed for the inhibitor, and now we have yet another team fight. On is not in the fight. On ult goes wide. It's casted from pretty far away, but no members are down just yet. There is a Origa being caught by the Mordekaiser, and Zuko manages to take him down. More members are dropping low. Thorfinn is also
Surely.
taken down by Broken Blade. Jinx finds herself here. Chompers are going to lay down some amount of CC as Clashmaster 7 tries to kite this out. Jana Tornado misses, but slow connects onto the Jinx, and she's going to have to run for his life as it's a 4-for-1 trade.
It is
I would
Armageddon for GOM over here, and it seems like AOK have nothing else in mind but to end. It seems like they're rallying at bot side, and if you could see that team fight, Sejuani was waiting right there in the bush, and Thornfinn is the man of the game for AOK's side with those charms, getting those high value targets, and with the Nexus completely exposed, GOM have nothing to do but to watch their precious base fall. And after such a fantastic effort, it seems like GOM will be vanquished by AOK. My god, what a match.
What an intense match! Really, like a lot of chaos in the lot of chaos in the mid lane, and it's good on AOK to be able to finally like find charms and CC onto priority targets. Mordekaiser multiple times being able to dive the backline and getting on top of Origa on that Veigar, and that's basically what broke the camel's back. Instead of playing front to back, like Wukong was like deep inside the enemy team and almost like just running around, and Mordekaiser is running around your own team. You don't want that. You want to be kiting along with the Veigar and Jinx, and they had this really beautiful team fight comp, but they just kind of just GM just kind of failed to execute on it.
For me, that Baron fight, where they were rallying in front of the Baron, both teams trying to show which of them are, more courageous, more bold. Okay, I believe the flanks they had, the flank TP and the absolutely perfectly executed charms over there, really gave AOK the push they needed. And once they got the game back into their hands, there was just no turning back. They did team fight after team fight. Nevertheless, they were basically inviting it. They did not insinuate it. All right, so like the incitement of the fights came from the GOM side. Nevertheless, AOK really had their number, didn't they?
Yeah, just it was just kind of just honestly just boiled down to I would say AOK was just better players individually this game. Like Orega just randomly stepping into Mordekaisers, going over blast cones into two members. Just,
Right, right,
like I don't know.
right.
And then Broken Blade is just like I don't know. He's trying to dive the back line, but he does seem to not understand that uh he's not supposed to dive the back lane. Like you can't dive the back and you go on the Ash, Jana ults, and you're just back into the front line. There's no point. You're
Especially,
just wasting resources.
especially, especially not in the scenario when your backline is being demolished, right?
Exactly, like that was that one team fight near Baron where they actually did that, where everybody just formed a wall around the Veigar, the Jinx, they fought around the choke, laid on the Onal. The Onal didn't even like more than hard. It like I think it only hit the Mordekaiser, but that's good enough because when the Veigar and the Jinx are doing damage to one target, it doesn't matter if you're a Mordekaiser or a Sejuani, a full tank, you are going to die. Like 40-minute Veigar and Jinx, they just do way too much damage.
Indeed, that is well said. And Generation of Miracles, even though their performance was astounding, they do fall at the hands of Altar of Kings. And you can see the expertise and the strategic prowess which Altar of Kings had. And to come back from the scenario which they were really pulled into, it takes a lot of skill. You gotta say, you gotta give it to them. Because Generation of Miracles early to mid game, they were dominating, weren't they?
Yeah, they were Generation of Miracles played the early mid game pretty well. Like what I expected to see was more of like Ash Arrows, Sejuani ults, and Ari roams creating picks, but that never happened. So Generation of Miracles was pretty much in the driver's seat leading into the mid game. They also had some great team fights, and then they just I would just assume they got too cocky and started like, yeah, man, I'm gonna get this kill, yeah.
Right, and it even though their efforts were something remarkable, uh, Altar of Kings really showed them, and you gotta really take your hats off for the performance Altar of Kings have shown over here. I won't really forget this comeback. I,
Yeah,
I
this
I
is
know.
this
I
is
mean,
this was
this
game
was
this
a
game was
match.
neck and neck.
This was a match for the ages for me, and I gotta chef's kiss to their performance, hands down.
Definitely very exciting match, and hopefully the matches only get better from here on out. Who knows?
Right, and we have one more match. So yeah, South Asia Legends Cup. It is really heating up here at the quarterfinals. All of you who are watching, thank you for your consideration, thank you for your understanding, and thank you for your support. We wouldn't be here without you. Much thanks to Riot Games for really hosting such a tournament and for SMG organizing it in such a manner. It's just such an honor to be casting again alongside Potato Monster. So, yeah, we have one more game. So, please stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Thank you for watching.
Hear my plea to the fallen, leave me to be with the broken one last time before I go. Hold the last burning ember, let us never surrender. May we rise up to the call for the glory and the fall. Awake to my voice and hear the call within. Embrace the fear inside. Surrender your mind to mine again. Close your eyes, have faith in me, and leave the lie behind. You're never alone. Whenever it's gone, let the shadows take hold. You're never alone. Let the poison in. Feel the warmth arise. Close your eyes, have faith in me, and leave the lie behind. You're never alone. Whenever it's gone, let the shadows take hold. You're never live within. Dreams revealed. I'm with you, never Soon you'll be set truly free from all those chains you bear. Live within. Dreams revealed. I'm with you, never Tell me where do I go? Tell me where do I take us? Your heart is starting to slow. May the water be safe. As I dive in, bloodstains washing underneath the waves. A beat reaching out to keep you safe. seconds while you dream. A life never lives in peace. As you stand upon the edge, woven by a single thread, and fate may fall down upon you, while the devil is knocking right at your door. So are you restless? Each night you hear the drums roar. Awaken, awaken, the voice begins to call you while you hunger. A taste of destiny you're searching for. Awaken, awaken, the fight is at your door. Take up the cause. As you stand upon the edge, laying in the balance, and flame may fall down upon you, while the devil is knocking. So are you restless? Each night you hear the drums roar. Awaken, awaken, the voice begins to call you while you hunger. A taste of destiny you're searching for. Awaken, awaken, awaken. When feels like calm and wind stands still, run home, run home. As the crows make night of the fading sun, hide now, hide now. The trees do bow as if they weep. Stay down. to the fallen, leave me to be with the broken one last time before I go. Hold the last burning ember, let us never surrender. May we rise up to the call for the glory and the fall.
There's a lot of damage and the shutdown. That
This is one fight that I feel
huge Wukong.
Stolen, he Steven.
Oh my god, the early game is so deadly with the souls.
And he used to steal the mountain drake.
Oh my god, look at that. Flash W. Holy crap. Best flash
boost does a lot of damage and the shutdown.
This is one fight that I've been.
Huge Wukong.
Oh lord.
Stolen Steven.
Iceman! Oh my god, the early game is so deadly with the souls.
And he used to steal the mountain break.
Oh my god, look at that. Flash W. Holy shit. Best land element.
Hello, everyone, and we welcome you back to South Asia Legends Cup, hosted by Riot Games and organized by SMG. We thank Riot Games and we thank SMG for allowing us to celebrate League. What a night it has been, getting to witness such phenomenal performances from unforgettable teams. Each player from both sides giving it their all for the lovers of League of Legends to witness. It is but a gruesome, unending war here at Summoner's Rift as we search for the team which would claim that destined prize and be known as the best among all. I am Siv and I'm joined here by the one and only Potato Monster.
Hey, so things are getting pretty hype. We have the last game of the day, and I am super excited.
And I gotta say, that last match got my emotions, going up and down. Like what a match it was. Both teams really giving it their all. And unless you're in a full-on team where they do scrims, they do flex games, they practice day and night, trying to better themselves, you don't really get to understand how much effort is put into forming a team and really doing so well in these high level tournament matches.
Yeah, definitely. All of these players put in a lot of effort to better their craft, if they will. But yes, what a great game. It was super close. Could have gone either way. We saw the game. The game was really up and down. Like goal leads was shifting throughout the game, and it was pretty close for the most part, except for the very end. Yeah, but well played.
Right, and well said, Potato, analyzing amazingly as usual. We'll be moving into the drafting phase. It is gonna be Team Ascend versus the Radiance. Oh boy.
Oh boy, and it is pretty high radiance from Bangladesh versus Ascend from Sri Lanka, and we see a Renekton ban immediately. Target against RTO.
I mean, Renekton top only, right? That's what it stands for. And yeah, they will get that Renekton out of there. And seems like Akshan is being banned for Team Ascend's mid laner. They don't want him this option.
Yeah, Penta's signature action is going to be banned yet again. He did get to play it once during group stages, but seems like that's going to be the end of that, and it's going to be a Wukong and Mordekaiser, the national champion of Bangladesh, being taken off the table.
Right. It seems so because Wukong seemed to be very popular throughout the tournament over here. And, as you had mentioned, pre-6, he is not as strong. Nevertheless, we gotta say that he is a problematic champ to deal with throughout this match, right? The more he hits, the more armor he gets or something like that. That's his passive. So he does get very tanky if he is in the fight.
Yeah. Wukong is super strong in team fights, and looks like Irelia is going to be taken away. A signature pick of rock, paper, scissors over there, and it's going to be a Rengar ban against Insect and a Jarvan pickup.
Right. The Jarvan does get picked over there, and we know how much of a problem he can be for the opponents. He just moves in, throws in the standard, and uses the lance to go right in. That knockup is amazing. It does take some time off of the opponent's checkbook. All right, and you can just move in for the kill. And I believe Jarvan is an awesome champion right now at the meta. And we see that the Graves is being picked.
Yep, and it's going to be a Graves and Kaiser. That's interesting. So it's two very strong carries being picked up by Radiance. right off the bat in the form of the Kaisa and the Graves. The Kaisa and the Graves both are quite capable of working around the Java null. The Kaisa with Herald and Graves can just dash out, so that's great for them. But that does expose them to getting counterpicked, and it, as expected, the Nautilus is going to be taken away from Radiant, so they won't have the Kaisa the signature combo to run in the bot lane. And let's see what Ascend goes for as the third pick.
And you see how awesome of a pick Kaisa is in this scenario. If Jarvan does manage to land that ultimate onto Kaisa, she will just be able to get out of that, uh, what's it called? Earthly fissure, which,
Cataclysm.
that cataclysm which Jarvan makes. So I guess it is a wise pick, and going Graves over here does seem like the wise option. A lot of mobility, a lot of sustain, a lot of damage.
Yep, and the response seems to be a Varus. Varus is a comfort pick for Legacy Blade, and you might be able to get out of a Jarvan, but can't get out of a Varus ult.
Right, indeed. Well said. That is really well said. You cannot get out of a Varus ultimate. The Varus ultimate is a breaker of team gatherings, keeps going from one person to another, and it is a mess if he manages to hit the ult onto an important target. The Kaisa has to be very, very careful.
And they're going to respond with a set pick who's going to be diving onto that back line, and it's probably going to work pretty well considering the Varus is not particularly mobile.
Right, and you have the right to get scared when a Fed set runs at you with fists ablaze. All those punches. Not only is he a really really fun champion to play, but he hits pretty darn hard. Right, I love the haymaker.
Oh yeah, and the bans are going to be a Morgana ban, so pretty wise ban because the champion can shut down the ultimates of Varus and the entire kit of Nautilus quite easily. And On and Malphite being banned in the top side, so they don't want Ascend to have access to those really signature tanky champions up in the top lane, and it's going to be a Syndra ban to round out the ban phase and a Leona pick, and
And
this is great.
I gotta say, Forrest loves that Leona pick. It's one of his signature champions, and I gotta say, the Radiants seem like so far they have a plan and they are imposing it in this drafting phase. Forrest getting that Leona means that he is here to play. Like, he is ready and jacked in.
And it's going to be a Gwen pick in the top lane, it seems. And we have one pick left to go, but yeah, Leona should find it. Like this is the weakness of the Varus, right? Super immobile and easy to focus down. Leona ult onto the Varus, and Kaisa can freely jump out onto him. But there's also the threat of the Nautilus here that needs to be respected. And a Gwen, which is most probably, I think this is a Gwen for rock paper scissors, is going to take it up to the top lane. Some nice, pretty nice amounts of magic damage. A very balanced team core. We have the Gwen and Ari doing
Right.
magic, and then Varus and Jarvan doing primarily physical damage out there, and a bit heavier towards the AP side, but yeah, still pretty good. Some nice
Indeed.
tank shred there.
And we're waiting for that last pick from the Radiant side so that we get the full picture of the battle to ensue. And it seems like it's gonna be a Cassiopeia.
Oh, the Cassiopeia pick is interesting, but I'm kind of concerned. We have three hard carries on the side of Radiance in the form of Graves, Kaisa, and Cassiopeia. And when you're running so many carries, and even the set is not a hard carry champion per se, but he's gonna need his own lane and his own farm, and so this might become an issue where we have four people really trying to contest farm, which is tends to become really really bad if you fall behind, because when you fall behind you start losing your jungle, and now you're losing your jungle, your Graves doesn't have farm, and that's not a great thing, and then he's farming lanes, and then your laners don't have farm. So bit risky to go for the quadra carries ish sort of comp, but yeah, if they can get a lead in the early game, that they could snowball pretty hard.
That is well said. And on the Team Ascent side, as you can see, I'm loving the Gwen pick over here, on to set. However, it may be a little difficult, I believe, considering laning phase is not going to be as easy as she may consider. Rock, paper, scissors. We'll have to be a bit careful with those scissors, especially when he's facing Fists of Fury, right? Nevertheless, if Gwen does manage to pull ahead, if there is sufficient, adequate information gathering by Jar Raven. If Jarvan is able to be topside at just the right moment, Gwen getting ahead will spell complete doom for the Radiants. Considering Team Ascend does comparatively have a more balanced draft, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, the draft is pretty good. They have a lot of CC being laid down. They're decent team fight. They're able to get picks. It's a pretty well balanced comp that doesn't particularly excel at anything. And they do have the issue of scaling where Varus and Ahri do tend to fall off really sharply after the mid game. It's not an issue for Radiants who have like no shortage of carries. They have Graves, Cassiopeia, and Kai'Sa. So yeah, it's going Ascend is going to have to look to kind of get a lead in the early game, and that should work really well against this comp that Radiance has drafted because there's not enough gold on the map for all of them, at least not on their side.
Right, right. That is expertly analyzed over here. And Potato, I invite you to give us some insight about Team Ascend, them as a team.
The Team Ascend is a Sri Lankan team. I have played with a bunch of these guys myself. These boys are from Sri Lanka. They've been playing together for a while. All of them are pretty decent players individually, and obviously Team Radiance, everybody knows about them. So they have their
Yeah,
work cut out for them. But I think Team Ascend is capable of putting up a decent fight against Radiance.
I believe so as well. If someone has to stand up to these giants, it's gonna be them. I believe we've seen how they performed in the group stages. The Radiants are hailed as one of the best teams of Bangladesh, bolstering the confidence of their supporters by hailing a roster of phenomenal players like Insect, Forest, Twinsy players. They're known well in Bangladesh in the Bangladeshi league scene. All right, they hold atop their heads the banner of the Radiance. Okay, now they face Team Ascend. Let's see what goes on, and I believe we're gonna be moving on to the ad. So yeah, we're gonna be moving on to the ad right away.
There's a lot of damage and the shutdown.
This is one fight that I beat.
Huge Wukong.
Oh lord.
Stolen heal. Steven.
Man! Oh my god, the early game is so deadly with the soul.
And he was to steal the mountain break.
Oh my god, look at that! Flash W. Holy shit!
All right, Potato, we're almost there. The last match for the night. What are your expectations, hopes, and dreams for what is to come?
I do believe that Radiants are going to be the favorites going into this matchup, but like I said before, Ascend is no slouch when it comes to playing people of Radiant's caliber. So it is possible that we could see an upset. So it's pretty exciting. And if you guys feel the excitement, do remember to like, share, and subscribe, and share this video with all of your friends so they can join us in watching this game.
Indeed, as he said, your support means a lot to us. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We are here together. We're celebrating League of Legends, right, Potato? So yeah, here we are with the support of Riot Games, and yeah, we're gonna have a blast tonight. I cannot wait for the match which is to come. And speaking of it, I don't know. The Radiants have always been ahead, right, of a lot of teams, and as you said, they are the favorites over here. Nevertheless, I would like to see Team Ascend really knock down their doors. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, and this is pretty interesting, with this tournament we see teams from different countries coming together. We have a Sri Lankan team going against Bangladesh, and
Yeah.
like there's so many different matchups that are being played.
Right.
This is very, very exciting overall, I would say. And
League of
we also
Legends.
had a Maldivian team, but unfortunately they did get knocked out in group stage.
I'm sure we'll see more of them in the future. There'll be many more tournaments. We're just getting started, and, it's just absolutely stunning and breathtaking to realize that League of Legends is blowing up so well in South Asia and to witness so many amazing teams. It is such an honor and such a pleasure. We're coming together for the common cause of League of Legends. What's more amazing than that?
Through that, and truly very, very exciting, honestly. And I'm personally looking forward to watching the games and the tournaments in the future. Who knows? Maybe I might play in some of them myself.
Oh, yes, I would love to commentate on those games. That's for sure. All right. Looking forward to seeing you in action, Potato. That's for sure.
Like, share, and subscribe if you would like to see me run into the mid tower at minute zero.
Right. Amen to that. So yeah, we should be getting feed soon. And speaking of that, here we are, the last game for the night. Team Ascent or TAD versus the Radiance. Rad.
Yep, and it looks like we have a spicy start from Ascend, and they hook connects onto Cassiopeia. And that's going to be first map.
Right, the American sniper had no idea what was going on as if he went down mid-side blind. And KDRS with that sure shot hook does manage to CC Cassiopeia real hard. And the charm from Ari will secure the Varus one kill. Legacy Blade, we know, had a lot of takedowns in the qualifying games. It seemed like rock, paper, scissors goes into a skirmish with RTO over there.
Yeah, definitely. Not the start you want. Like, I thought this is like really great for Radiance because they spotted the invade coming in from the mid lane, but American Sniper kind of sleeping on the job. You don't want your snipers being asleep on the scope, boys. Otherwise, these stuff like this might happen to them, and um,
Right.
uh, an armored titan from the ocean might hook them with an anchor.
Yeah, the infiltrators were right over there, yet the sniper was not ready.
Yep,
Nevertheless,
yep.
it seems like that red will go down. A very healthy leash given to Ted's Zhao Raven over there. Graves trying to get that red buff and then moving on towards the Raptor. No leash needed.
Yeah, control ward being dropped by Legacy Blade clears out the ward, so the red side bot lane might find themselves a bit lacking as far as vision is concerned, but nothing too insane, nothing that would lose you the game. But we're continuing on with the game, and so far not too much is happening. There's a bit of a goal lead for blue side because of that first blood earlier.
And yes, it seems like in mid lane over there, American Sniper will be willing to push that lane. T1 Kenta trying to go for that charm. However, it was pretty close, wouldn't you say so? It was pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close, pretty close.
Oh,
And looks like we have a gank situation in the middle lane. American Sniper sitting in the brush. Man tries to take down Penta before he can react. Drops really low. Flash auto from Zhao Raven is going to secure the kill as Insect finds himself in a 2 versus 1. He is being chased down. He dashes, is trying to get away. Knock is not going to connect, but Flash Charm finds Insect and Penta finds a kill. Disaster strikes in the middle lane.
And my goodness, I don't know if we jinxed them or not, but it seems like CAD are taking down Red in the early game. Forest does manage to get onto Legacy Blade. However, Aizen chunked down so badly. KDRS trying to survive that. Nevertheless, Legacy Blade and KDRS, will they be able to survive? Then no, Aizen does manage to take one kill for Rad.
Not that's not great for the bot lane of Ascent, it was super close there, but they kind of overcommitted to the choosing to fight inside the minion wave of Radiance, and that slight push was kind of what made the fight go over the edge, and they ended up losing. But yeah,
Right, you are about that, and it seems like one kill, even though it is something, right? It is something, so even though it may not be much, but it does give some sense of hope to the Radiance over here, because the early game does not seem to be going in their favor so far.
yeah, and there's a bit of a lull in the action right now as people are just taking their resets and trying to get back to lane with some items. There is about a 1.2k gold lead for Ascend right now, mostly on the back of that plane, the mid lane, where both the jungle and the mid laner end up losing their lives. And this is the kind of start that Ascend is really looking for. As the fight breaks out in the top lane, Facemaker is going to connect, but we shift to the bot lane as Hook connects on to Kai'Sa. Legacy Blade steps us to deal damage. Graves is here for the assist. Aizen drops down to 300 HP, but KDRS is going to get focused down. Stun connects onto the Varus. He's going to try to trade kills with Forest, but he's able to flash the Varus W and survives at 100 HP. But Piercing Arrow is going to find him, and with his dying breath, Legacy Breath takes down Forest before going down to the Graves, and that's going to be a double kill for the Graves. But it looks like Jarvan is here looking for trouble. Isn't going to find any as the Ascent bot lane just backs off.
I mean, that was very interesting over there. Insect, even though he did get taken down when he came to help out Cassiopeia, American Sniper over there. But at bot side, he does manage to gain 2 kills. Very much needed 2 kills. We know Graves needs that scaling concept over here. Alright, so if he does manage to get some items, it's going to be helpful for him. Before we move on, it seems like Forrest will put down that control ward, realizes that he is in the enemy sight. And as for talking about the bot lane fight, it's great to see Insect right over there supporting his bot lane. Alright, they realize that their bot lane needs to get ahead.
Yep, the bot lane getting ahead is super nice because they're facing an all-in lane versus an all-in lane. So the lane that is ahead is inadvertently going to do better. But right now the Varus does find himself with the lead. He's about up 12 CS. Because of he did manage to trade kills, he is still up a fair bit of gold on the Kai'Sa. He's about like 900 gold up, which is not great. They're going to set their sights to this dragon as Jarvan passes to the top side, so there's not going to be any response for that. And then it's business as usual as the boys in the top lane continue to fight. A charm connects onto the middle lane in the middle of the creep wave. American Sniper taking quite a bit of damage from the creeps and Penta himself, and looks like Gwen ult is going to be popped as there's a fight in the top lane, but Set is just going to walk away, surviving at 100 HP. He's regening some HP. He's going to channel that recall, and he's probably going to teleport back to lane.
And, you know, it seems like rock, paper, scissors was what's planned in. Wow.
Rock, paper, scissors had a different plan for him, and the action doesn't stop as Hook connects onto Kai'Sa in the bottom lane. Ignite is dropped down, but counter stun by Forest keeps him safe. W lands onto the Varus as he tanks a tower shot, but both bot laners dropping super low. But look who's here. It's Graves, and he's looking for blood, or guess not. He chooses to back away, and that was wise because his mid laner had recalled, and Ari was also looking to follow up on that gank.
Talking about top lane though, rock, paper, scissors, I was not expecting that. That was spontaneous. And okay, amazing reaction time by Insect over there. He really seems to be in it over here. Jaraven clearing that ward in the top side, River Brush of mid lane. But rock, paper, scissors, hats off, amazingly done over there. He calculated that he could take out RTO in an instant. I've noticed that RTO does utilizes the W even though it's not at its full potential. I believe he would be able to dish out more damage, considering that the W is an incentive to get hit and just dish more damage onto the opponents.
RTO definitely finding himself a fair bit behind in this matchup. He's down about 700 gold there in the top lane, off the back of a very lazy recall, and we have a nice little creep wave being set up here as Aizen gets zoned off the wave because Leona wasn't here, and that means that this is basically just the perfect recall for Legacy Blade over here, where he's going to come back and he's going to find a huge creep wave. He's sitting on 3.5k gold, but there's a bit of a scuffle in the top lane. But as we talk about that, he has completed his Kraken Slayer, whereas Aizen is still sitting on a bunch of components. So the bot lane is going to be pretty skewed in terms of the matchup towards Ascend before the while the Kaisa gets some assist. And the top lane, the fight breaks up. RTO ults rock paper scissors into his star. He's going to ult himself. Haymaker comes out, and meanwhile in the bot lane we have another fight. And Aizen, oh my god, Aizen got deleted.
Legacy Blade absolutely sends Aizen back to hell with that ultimate piercing strike. It seems like RTO will manage to survive at topside. I was thinking that Gwen managed to really negate all damage. Hold that thought. Gwen so low, rock, paper, scissors. Will she be willing to fight? What a masterfully played movement by their maneuverability. Insect manages to absolutely smite Gwen out of the map. A battle of the junglers over here. Zhao Raven realizing that Penta is here. Insect dodging everything, but how long will he survive? Aizen manages to shut down that Varus, and what a fight is going on. So much action. KDRS, will he be able to survive the onslaught? So tanky. The ignite does go off, and Kaisa will dodge that and secure that kill. Wow.
Whoa, this game is a bloodbath, fighting all over the place. Like this is quite something. It's a bit risky for the risky on both sides, but yeah, this is what we get when you have like double engage supports in the bot lane like Nautilus and Leona, and this thing. It's just fighting all over the place.
Did we not pray for this, my friend? Did we not pray for another?
And don't hold your horses, because there's another fight breaking out in the top lane.
Yeah, another fight going on. You know, this is it. You know, the ending of the night is happening with a bang. Except we don't know where it's happening. All right, whether it's gonna be Rad's Nexus or Tad's Nexus, right? So yeah.
That's pretty red, Ted.
Right, indeed.
That's a shitty joke, but Tad as
is
rock
what
paper
it
scissors
is,
is
you
going
know?
to try his zone. RTO here. These top laners are just constantly fighting. Both top laners having health pots running. Snip, snip goes the scissors.
Right. Scissors versus fist. Scissors seem to be a more optimal weaponry choice. But
They do say that you shouldn't fight unarmed.
Right.
This seems to be a pretty practical example of that.
But as Seth says, why bring a knife to you know?
Oh
in
my
this fight?
god, Charm connects on to Insect. His clutch fails to predict Zhao Raven's direction. He gets shut down by Insect. Flash comes out from Ari, but that's a 1v2 from the graves. What the hell?
I mean,
Hello,
Insect
Insect.
was phenomenal over there. I'm losing my mind. That maneuverability, he dodges everything as if he sees it coming, as if he sees the future. And my god, he was already dead over there, I believe. Like,
Actually, he got hit by everything.
okay, he
And
does.
he still
did.
wins.
How did he survive that? I don't know.
That's just the strength of the graves, I guess.
Did
Like,
he get hit by the charm though?
he got hit by the charm, he got hit by the Q, he got hit by the no. He took Darwin's ult, he got hit by everything.
That is unthinkable. All right, amazingly done over there. I guess the damage does win at the end. Rock, paper, scissors ahead of RTO. Phenomenally ahead. It seems like he's gapping him so far. Nevertheless, Insect outshining everyone.
Looks like there's going to be another fight breaking out in the top lane as the top laners decide to brawl it. Or rock, paper, scissors is running away as the bar on RTO goes down and engages immediately. Ult from RTO. Flash comes down out of rock, paper, scissors. He does not have his ult available, but Graves is here to clean up. Autos the minion. But it does manage to get the kill with his ultimate. Interesting choice by Rock Paper Scissors to take that fight when he didn't have his ultimate available. Meanwhile, Legacy Blade finds himself on the receiving end of a Leona stun, but the Leona is out of mana and the Kaisa is chain CC'd. Is Aizen going to choose to go on Varus? No, he doesn't. He uses his ult defensively and Leona gets taken down. Even Penta finding himself in the top lane trying to get something back. Trying to catch RTO out here. W His W connects and another fight in the bot lane. They have Insect in the jungle and he is dropping low as KDRS and Zhao Raven managed to 2v1 him down and 1,000 damage to the Cataclysm and it gets deleted. American Sniper is here to clean up and the Poisonous Fangs find him a triple kill.
My friend, I think I'm gonna have a heart attack right now. All right, American Sniper, the story of American Sniper this match. He has been having a tough time, all right? Okay, let's talk about this though. You know, Penta has got that Ludens, you know, whatever he's gonna hit, he's gonna absolutely vanquish RTO from the realms of Summoner Rift. But you see, Insect is caught and they know that they want to take him out as soon as possible, and they manage to do that. All right, Insect does survive more than he is supposed to as Graves. Nevertheless, double kill goes over to American Sniper. The Cassiopeia was like, okay, fine. I had a tough time early on. I'm gonna give them a tough time now, and they sure delivered with that. You know,
as we were watching that replay, RTO found Rock Paper Scissors in the mid lane and sent him back home for a slow recall.
For real?
For real. The action never stops as KDRS gets caught out by the bot lane and jungle of Ascend, and he is taken down. Penta has teleported here down to the bot lane. Charm connects onto the Graves, ulti onto the Leona. Insect finds Legacy Wave, connects the full combo, but they trade kills. Penta gets caught in a stun. The stacks are ticking as the Kaisa gets charmed. Charm gets cleansed. The third dash is going to lead him to safety as they end up trading pretty much 2 for 1 in that mismatch fight.
I don't think I have lungs to really carry on casting this match. You know, to be honest, like, my God, both teams, Rad and Tad, going at it, and you know the action does never really stop. You know, RTO getting that kill onto Rock Paper Scissors is a shift of this in this battle, and as you can see, he's dishing out a lot of damage. He has that Gourd Drinker on, so you could tell that he's going not only the tanky way, he just wants to be able to include himself in these close range tactical combats. And
meanwhile, a hook connects onto American Sniper. Legacy Blade, some fancy footwork, dodges the stun. Nautilus onto the Graves, and Cataclysm is going to lock down American Snipers. As Insect tries to return kill, does a lot of damage, but it's not enough. But Leona is hovering around the horizon, trying to maybe trade a kill. Stun is going to be evaded by using Flash, and Legacy Blade is trying to walk out of this. Leona ult does land a slow onto Legacy Blade as he is trying to dodge, suss out the spell, but he gets stunned and gets taken down by a long-range Graves ult snipe. That's a rip.
That is a rip in the end. You gotta give it to the Radiants. You know, they are persistent over there. They're still not done. Forest is hovering around the blue side of Jarvan, trying to ensure that, you know, trying to make sure that they are the alphas over here. RTO going inside the opponent's turret over here. Will he be able to do anything? The Gourd Drinker will not save him. He's in way too deep. I believe he underestimated the damage which Gwen could just dish out on him. However, Seth can't easily walk back, I guess, you know. But let's talk about that fight over there. Let's talk about what Forest mentality.
I'll not be able to talk for it very long because every single member of Team Ascend who is alive is heading towards the dragon, and so is Legacy Blade.
War! That's
this
what I
is
say.
war. This is what we came for.
Rad versus Tad, huh?
Rad versus Tad. Stun connects onto the Ari, but there is no follow-up. Forest is here alone. Blue team steals the Hextech. They 1v1 between Forest and Legacy Blade. That's not a fair fight. Graves is in the back of the pit. He's going to try to jump over, but he can't do that if he gets jumped by the Ari. That's a shutdown. And fighting game is back as Penta and American Sniper find themselves squaring off. Set and Kaisa hovering around the edge to provide backup if needed. Penta sniffs it out, or does he?
I don't know what's going on, but it's action-packed indeed. Break that down for us. What was going on over there? Who got that trade?